Alright guys, welcome to the first Insomniacs
Hey
of
guys,
the...
welcome back to my channel.
Is this what you can do every video?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's... No, go ahead. You want to do the intro.
No, please.
I just did.
Show them your cookout.
Do it, babe. You
Here's
got
my
this.
cookout.
Not sponsored.
Went to cookout earlier.
Unless
love
you
that
want a
for me.
sponsor, like
Yeah, unless you want sponsors, give us money. That'd be awesome.
give us money, cookout. Or like food.
Other food places are available.
We're not biased.
exclusive to cookout.
Just give us...
I mean, yeah, we are, but
If you
we
sponsor
like
us,
other
we
places,
will
but
be.
we're pretty much
Yeah.
exclusive to cookout.
Well,
I just wanted an Oreo shake and like a cheddar style burger.
Well, this is off to a great start. Welcome to the very first Insomniacs of the round table. We're on a couch.
We're not a round table.
It's the name of the podcast.
We don't have a round table.
Listen, we
I
know
don't
it's
know.
not a round table now.
Am I building?
We're working on it.
It's a round table because everybody in this circle
It's
of
a round
friends
table
has equal right for
It's a
speech.
metaphor.
It's a metaphor. It's a fun... I don't
Yeah.
know.
Because when we eat at cookout, we sit at the round table.
We do. That's where it actually spawned from.
Yeah,
But
basically.
since it's the first podcast we're doing, we all came together through the web series, we figured we'd kind of tell the story of how that
Nick.
disgrace came
Nicholas.
to
These
this.
are my best
Nicholas.
friends.
Nicholas. Hi.
Oh,
Love you.
Yeah, we're all family. We're not just best
Yeah.
friends. We're family.
Hi.
Cute.
Should we introduce ourselves or something?
Oh,
And
yeah.
say what we did.
Yeah, we can start off
Who
with that.
are you guys?
Nick, go first.
Oh, hi. This was my monster that I created. That was fun. But yeah, I'm Nick Collier. I directed, wrote, and played Oliver Queen and the Green Arrow in it.
Who's next?
Lady.
You should have went in the rows, but
It's fine.
Hannah.
It's fine.
Hannah, you
Hey,
can go.
what's up? I'm Hannah.
What's your last name?
Lauk.
We're so good at
We're so productive.
We're pros. We're
I
pros.
played Black Canary in Battle for Star City,
Yeah, she did.
and yeah, that's about it. I don't have any other credits for this company except Battle for Star City.
You're the acting coach.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
You coached me through the whole
Yeah.
like almost the entire show. So
Mm.
I had
Maybe
no idea
all-
what I was doing. I was
I
like,
did my
yeah, I
best.
can act, and Hannah's like, stop, fix it.
And then when
Like,
it came to me dying, I was
alright.
just like, I'll just swallow some of this fake blood and actually die.
we'll get to that.
Oh,
All right,
yeah.
introduce.
Oh yeah, segues. I'm Elijah Preston. I played Jason Todd. Shut up, Sam.
I think you thought of exactly what I thought
I
of.
did.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll get.
A segue.
Oh my god.
Anyway, I'm Elijah Preston. I played Jason Todd / the Red Hood in the web series, and I also was the fight director or stunt choreographer or whatever the industry is calling it these days. It's kind of hard to keep up. But
Fight
yeah,
boy.
fight boy. I'm the fight boy.
He is.
I am the one who wins.
And you know what's funny? We give you so much crap about the audio peaking. You're actually staying under right now.
Really?
I watched it right
Yeah.
there. You were 2 bars
No,
on
okay.
the side.
Before we, just one quick note. Every time we record ADR anything,
He peaks.
even when I talk pretty quietly, I peek it. I peek the mic. And I was Blair Witching it in a corner, recording audio, and I was
Still
still
peaked.
peeking the mic.
It was rough. All right.
Anyway,
Sam.
it's a spoiler.
I'm Sam. I am the producer and the production designer. I don't really want to look at the camera because it's like right in the light, and I'm already seeing rings everywhere.
Yeah, you get used to it.
Anyway,
You gotta learn to like look
Um,
around it.
yeah, I produced and production designed. I made all the costumes and did all the makeup and got the props, and then I also scheduled and did all the
She
paperwork.
made sure it actually happened.
She was.
Yeah, I made it happen.
Yeah. Sam is
Yeah.
the goat.
Without Sam, this would never have gotten off the ground. It'd have been like,
Yeah.
hey, let's do this, and it's like, oh, this looks terrible. And Sam did
like
it.
an old
So,
project that
yeah.
Nick did.
Shut
once
up.
upon a time.
We will get to
It's
that
fine.
eventually.
Who's that guy?
Hey, Paul, you want to introduce
Hi, I'm
yourself?
Paul Sullenberger. I did a lot of little things on set, from
Made
casual
ramen.
to
And he made ramen.
He just showed up one day on
Yay.
set and made
a bunch of
ramen.
other things. I also was the Joker briefly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
You
true.
can credit your credit, Joker.
Yeah, your credit is the Joker.
A few other things. I did some ADR for the Joker, but I don't think we're using any of that, are we?
I don't know.
I don't think
We're not
No.
using
I don't
We
think
were-
we're-
we
It's
recorded
all
it.
up in the air.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did a lot of little things.
Yeah.
Hey, Ann.
Hey.
I'm Anne Reinhiller. I was cinematographer for 4 out of 5 episodes, and I am our editor.
God bless your soul.
God
Yeah.
bless.
You're
You've
the
done
oldest
God's
altogether.
work for the disgrace that's been some of these episodes.
Anne is one of the main reasons why this web series is still even
These
a thing.
two mainly back here are the only reason this project's even living, breathing, and somewhat thriving.
It's okay. Listen,
It's baby thriving. It's thriving for our
we're
standards.
doing our best.
All right, we've gotten over 1,000 views on it, like overall so far, which is like kind of dope.
Well, I
Is it
mean,
$1?
If we were.
If we were
Monetized,
monetized,
yeah.
it's not even.
stop it! Don't make YouTube change anything.
Anyway.
But yeah, so like the whole start of it, it was our last year at school, and I was like, I kind of want to do something like cool and another web series, and by another,
Yeah.
I can't not talk about it, and it makes me upset because it's
Blue Renegade.
it's
We love
it's
her,
it's
right?
my disgrace of a film project that was kind of the baby like of
But Anne-
Blue
Green Arrow.
Renegade
It-
walked
which
so
is-
Battle for Star City could run.
But it's what's really
no.
funny about it is that in that series, Anne also helped on that one. She
Also,
played.
God bless her.
God bless her on that one because that was bad. It was such a bad. It was no one should have let me do it. But
If I would have known you sooner, I could have saved
I
you.
should have watched the first
It's-
cut and
I
said it
wasn't
was
even
bad.
production designing at that point, so.
No, but like okay, so the thing about it
I
is
was
I
in
was
high
so I was so proud of that stupid project for so long, like
a little too long.
yeah, and then I was like, man, this is okay. When I got my hands on like a real film camera and like learned like focal lengths, I was like,
Yeah.
wow, this project sucks, and
Not
it
an
was
XA25.
not an XA25, not a broadcast camera,
And
I
got
was
real
like-
costumes.
real costuming. Like didn't try to like write
Mhm.
an original hero that hadn't been done, which I like.
But
I
was the
executed.
original?
Well, the costume was not. It was literally
I was
just
about to say
Nightwing
it
with
was
a different
Nightwing.
logo. But like the idea was, but I never got to.
Yeah.
And so like he used comic books to solve the crimes. So like he could see correlations in the villains and like the villains in his world, and could cross reference them, and like so he could everything lined up with the
So
comic.
it's like, kind of like a superhero, like a kid show.
Kind of.
Like they
Blue
put all the
Renegade-
clues together and they're like, oh my god.
Re-release Blue Renegade as a kids show.
That'd be
Yes!
That'd be cute. That's where we make a lot
This
of
project's never dying.
No,
This
it never
project's
will.
never
Not
gonna
Not if
die.
I have anything to say about it.
So-
Can it be complete with sing-alongs and like words in the bottom?
Yes,
Yes!
yes,
We'll
yeah.
get
Yes.
the blue
I
bouncy
agree.
ball going.
Silver Claw.
Oh
Now
god.
kids,
I
solid
absolutely-
blue bouncing ball.
This project's like I want it to stay hidden and dead, and it just won't. It keeps coming
It
back.
will never die.
But
You made
like I'm
the
I'm
mistake of
glad
telling
I'm glad I made the abomination that is that because like it helped me learn what not to do and like how not to do stuff to make like everything
Well, it's like
Green
Blue
Arrow.
Renegade got Battle for Star City to where it is, and that was already like something a whole lot bigger than any of
Yeah.
us had ever seen. But then, like now, we're gonna get to look back on Battle for Star City and make even bigger things. So it's like
Yeah,
kind of
it's
a
like it's
gradual
baby
build-
steps.
Baby
it's like
steps.
a
It's a
building
pyramid.
thing.
But
Blue
it's
Renegade.
So like before like even the whole writing process started, I was like, okay, I want to do, and I love original stories. I hate just like taking something from like the comics or the TV shows and just like carbon copying it because like everyone's done
We
it
do
before.
that a lot.
We do that with costuming, okay? We don't do that directly with stories. Like they're inspired by the stories. We take pieces of stories. But for the series, I was like, I want to do something like no one's done before. And I was like, okay, I love the Red Hood. He's probably top 5 favorite characters in comics. And you're literally wearing. I didn't even realize he's actually wearing his Red Hood jacket.
Weapon.
Okay, that was
Okay.
not planned. Well, maybe for him, but I didn't plan it. But I was like, all right, I want to do something with Red Hood. So when he starts out, he's a villain. I was like, okay, what if he stays a villain? I'm like, okay, cool, that'd be a good start. And at that time, I was rewatching the Green Arrow series on the CW, and I was like, okay, I think a Green Arrow would be easy to do because like you're not worrying about batarangs
Special
or
effects.
smoke grenades. And I say this, and we have
Arrows!
all of them.
We literally
Arrows!
put them.
I'm like, we have both of those. Or like, but look at the costuming,
Multiple
especially.
times.
Arrows.
It was just
We
a
take it-
lot less
But like,
special effects.
but like, if
than
you
a whole lot
well,
of
not
other
even special
heroes.
effects, but like costuming, like with Batman, like
Mhm.
getting like a believable bat suit is just it's really hard to do and
Yeah.
to make it look like it's not necessarily
National
armor,
Night.
but like looks. I mean, we didn't have those connections at that point though. But
No, I just.
But it
meant-
was just-
I just
it
meant
was really-
shout out to him
because like
because
even
he looks
even my
legit.
mom's like,
Yeah.
why
Shout out to our
aren't you
Comic-Con
doing
friends.
Batman? And I was like, if you want to hand me $1,000 so I can get a bat suit, by all means, I'll write a Batman script. But like, I don't have the money. Did you just put that in the couch? We don't have cup holders yet, so I guess that works.
Yet.
But so I was like, yeah, and then I was like, I already have a Green Arrow jacket, so we'll do Green Arrow. And then so I was like, oh, okay, so now I have Green Arrow, I have Red Hood. Okay, so how can I interconnect those characters that really never cross paths in comics? I don't think
We
ever.
used Batman.
Kind of.
Batman was in the show, but he wasn't in the show.
Yeah.
He was
So,
there, but he wasn't.
But I was like, okay, so in the Red Hood story, he's mad at Batman for letting him die. I was like, what if he's mad at the entire Justice League? That now gives him reason to come to Star City for Oliver. I'm like, okay, that works. And I started writing.
And that's
These
around
poor
the time-
souls, every time I was writing the scripts, it wasn't at like 2 p.m., 3 p.m. It's like 1 in the morning I would start these things, and they would get them at 3 in the morning. And somebody over here was also up
I
and
was
would
always
read
awake.
them. But then,
I would read them right away and give you immediate
so before
feedback.
I even got them on, or really started scripts, there was just the idea of like, hey, I want to do this. Hannah and I worked on a set together. She was acting, I was the first AD. And I just was like, hey, I have this idea. I'm going to make a superhero series. I want you to be a part of it. And then we go to Elijah's set where he worked. I was working as cinematographer for that set. And I was like, Elijah, I want to do a superhero thing. I think I want to do Red Hood and Green Arrow. And he's like, ooh, what about Black Canary? And we both just kind of looked over at Hannah and we're like, all right, cool. We have 3 characters now. And it's like, and then
Hello.
I was thinking, okay, I didn't really have anybody to produce it the first time, which is kind of like why Blue Renegade didn't work. I didn't have shut up.
It's okay.
I didn't have like professional people, like people designated to different departments. I was like, all right, I gotta fill this out. So I was like, Sam.
That's when I got a text.
I was like, Sam, I have this crazy idea, and you're gonna hate me for it.
I was
she's like-
at work.
She was at
Okay.
work at her job, and she's like, oh God, what do you want? I was like, I have a 5-part web series.
No, not only was I at work, I already knew that it was gonna be a crazy semester because I was doing, I knew I was gonna end up doing 3 cinematography projects. I was in the class that does the film festival at our school,
She did paper.
and I had already agreed to be the production designer for another friend's short film. It was a musical, so I was like, that right there is like pretty busy. I was talking to my coworker about this, and he was like, Sam, you need to like calm down. And then I got the text from Nick. I was like, my friend wants me to do a 5-part web series, like superhero web series. Do you think I should do it? My coworker was like, no, you really shouldn't. And I was like, I think I'm gonna do it.
I got the text back, and she's like, yeah, I'll do it. It was an
Yeah, it was
email.
an
I didn't have her
email.
phone number. We've been
It
friends
was
for
an
4
email.
years. Didn't even have Sam's phone number. It was an email, and she's like, all right, I'll do it. But I have a request. Hang on. My phone's
Oh,
recording.
no.
I was
Yeah.
going to read the email. But like she sends me this
I had a list of
like
demands.
3-page demand list of all the things she needs. I think I gave you everything you wanted on that list.
More or
Yeah, I
less.
think so.
It was pretty close. Pretty
Because like I was like, I have to have like
2 weeks advance
2
for
weeks advance.
everything.
yeah.
Honestly, that was the only one I think really that was
That
that
was the
big a
only
deal.
really
Yeah.
important
Which,
one.
Page.
which
Yeah, 'cause
you got
like-
everything all at once, so you could
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
schedule it. Because
But
that was the thing I learned from Blue Renegade is I wrote the first script for Blue Renegade, we filmed it, but then I didn't have a second script, so I really didn't know where to go with it, and it was just like the first episode was just kind of hanging, and there was nowhere to go. So I was like, okay, I need to write the entire series before we film, so that once we film, we have places we can go and not be like, okay, 6 months later, there's nothing left. But yeah, and then
we write seasons, not
Yeah.
episodes.
which I mean, it's easier
It's a
that
process.
way.
Yeah,
It's a
but
process.
when you
but
asked me to do it, you only had episode 1.
that's right. I sent her the
he-
script for
he
episode
sent me
1.
You sent me episode 1.
Yeah.
And I read it while
Yeah.
I was at work. It was like, yeah, okay. And that's when I sent you the email saying, yes, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And then I went up to my coworkers and like, so I kind of agreed to just do the 5-part web series. And he was just
Which
like,
is-
Sam, why are you like
But
this?
it's funny because I remember when you first agreed and we like people were starting to find out about it. They're like, why did you're an idiot, Sam? That's like
Okay,
there's
I
way
ended
too
up
much.
working on 13 projects that
Which
semester.
was still
and
lucky-
the film festival.
Lucky for Nick and us and Sam, she's just a god tier production designer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she does it on a level that no one else around us can do.
She's on a completely different plane.
So
Like, it's nuts.
So we have our 3 kind of main characters, and so we're starting to fill out characters, and we added some other characters as the process went along. So some like script rewrites happen and all that, and so then we get, what was it, about a week from the first shoot, or a month? We were about a month out from the very first shoot, and we're in cinematography class, and then Anne comes over, is with Sam, and is like, Anne wants to do this for one of her projects. Is that okay? I'm like, yeah, like I don't care. That was the reason I wanted to do this, was to be able to give people opportunities in school to be on a professional set, real, like, kind of learn the business, the industry, and like get to be kind of part of something bigger than like what we should have been.
School project.
What we should have been doing.
It was just
Yeah.
so
Like,
much
it was
time.
way- it was
It
way-
outside of the
It
normal
honestly
school
should
projects.
not have like gotten off the ground. I'm still shocked it got off the ground at all.
Yeah.
But they were like, I was like,
There
yeah,
was
like,
a lot
I,
of
like,
love
I
and
don't,
a lot
I
of
don't
dedication,
care.
and a lot of sleepless
And
nights.
so yeah, and then
Lots.
so I
So many.
sent Anne the scripts, and she came back. What was it, like 2 weeks later? So we're like probably 2 weeks from the first shoot. And you've got all, and she had all five episodes roughly storyboarded. It was like, oh my god,
Amazing.
I was like, yeah, this is gonna work fine.
Oh yeah, and me being the producer for this too was also, I kept saying, Nick, you need to find a producer. Nick, you need to find a producer. And
That's
he
right.
just-
You weren't even the
he-
producer at
Yeah,
first.
I wasn't.
You were production design
I
only.
signed on only to be the production designer.
And I kept trying to find
And-
people, and
and
I could not
eventually
get
I just
someone.
said, forget this. I'm your producer. This is what we're doing.
Well, it started out okay because I
Yeah.
couldn't find people that would sign on for the entire series. People
Yeah.
only wanted to sign on for like
there's a wall.
Yes.
people only wanted to sign on for like a couple episodes
Bye,
at a
Ann.
time. Like I
See you in a
approached
minute.
I approached Carrie Brown
Yeah.
about it because she was the producer for my my directing project, and she did a great job on that. And I was like, okay, cool. You know, maybe Carrie will be
Yeah.
cool with this. She was like, just send me a schedule. And I'm like, it's your job, Carrie.
I don't have that.
I don't have a schedule.
Yeah.
I have scripts and people that want to do
Yeah.
this.
And
So then, like, we were like, again, and now we're a week out from our first scheduled shoot,
No,
which was
it
the
wasn't
library.
no, it wasn't even
Oh
that.
my-
It was
I
like,
forgot that was our.
it was
Mm-hmm.
like, because I scheduled that shoot
Oh no,
because
it was
this
about the time Anne came back with the
Yeah.
and you're like, I'm gonna like.
We
I think
had-
you came to
we
me
had
with
a production meeting, and I was like, "You can't find a producer. I'm just gonna do this."
I was
Okay?
like, okay, that's fine.
And I literally sat there that night and just like planned out everything.
Which God bless you for that, because we
Yeah.
were a boat without a paddle on that one.
Yeah.
So, but and
You're
then
welcome.
yeah, and then we got the very first shoot was we shot in the library, which was our press conferences,
Mhm.
which we did. I say we. You did a great job on making that look like an office
Yeah.
press room, which
with a lot of people, when in reality,
if 4 people
With
show
4
up,
people.
we
literally
advertised
asked every
for
single
like a
person to meet
week.
you.
We advertised for a
we
week for people to
advertised
show
to
up.
the entire.
So when
school.
Yeah.
that shot comes up in the first episode, and you see Jacob, Jillian,
Jillian and
Kiana,
Austin.
Austin,
and
England,
Nick's
and
in the back.
Chris
Or, no,
in the
Chris is
back.
Yeah, Chris
That's
is in the back.
like, and they're all bunched together, and like, it looks like it's a full room. That's literally all we had,
yeah.
and we
You
couldn't
work with what you got.
like we thought about putting Elijah in there, like it just has a cameo,
Mhm.
but it's like we can't put him in there. Like we thought
Hoods
about
up.
putting like a hood up or something. Like no, that would be too obvious. And then like we couldn't put Hannah in there yet because she hadn't been introduced into the scene. So it's like
Love you.
that's all we had. So it was like, all right, we're just gonna work with it, and like it looks fun. Like I think
It
it looks
looks good.
really good.
Yeah.
But we constantly had like little hiccups
Oh,
every
but-
shoot like
But that plaque that I made.
Oh my god, we spent so long on that plaque. and you
I
never
spent
see
so
it.
long
The
on
cube?
that plaque.
I-
The plaque that I
I
made
have it
out
somewhere.
of- I made it out of cardboard,
I thought it
hot
was up
glue,
there.
and hot glue.
No, I don't
And
remember. I had it
I
black
somewhere.
had it up there at one point.
Mm-hmm. I don't
That
remember where
was
I
it.
put
It
it.
was a plaque that it was supposed to be the Queen Consolidated like logo.
Logo. Like on the board
Yeah.
or on
and
the
so I got-
podium.
I got some cardboard.
But-
I got a cardboard box out of my basement, cut it up, and like used a bunch
Well,
of
because
hot
like
glue.
the idea was that the shots in there were going to be these wide shots, and you would see this the way I wrote it was like this sea of reporters.
Mm-hmm.
We had 4 people show up. I'm like, we can't do any wide shots because
Yeah.
like it shows the room's empty. So it cut every shot that we had planned out for like to show the Queen logo.
Yeah.
So like it was just like we had to really adjust with with the cards we were dealt during the whole thing.
But
I mean,
pulled it
that's
off
like
well.
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
the
it's-
light of production design, though. You spend hours working on something that's
I mean, we
never seen.
brainstormed
Yeah.
so long looking at that plaque. We're like, oh, we can get lights to put on the back of it, make it
Yeah.
get some shine, and then you don't even see
You
it.
don't even see
Yeah.
it.
And because I remember on set we were shooting. And I was like, Sam, we're not going to see this at all. And you kind of looked at me, and you go, fine, and just like walked off. But
that's just how it is.
And then-
that honestly is how it is with production
well,
stuff.
once we
Yeah.
had the first shoot, I think is really when we kind of started catching steam because I edited the very first cut of that scene and put it on our Instagram, and people started to see it.
that.
People started seeing it, and that's when we really started to catch buzz on campus.
Because it was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
this is an actual thing.
It looked good. Like I
It
like
did.
the first. I mean, I did the first cut and didn't do it,
Yeah.
but like even like the stuff I did, like and
Mhm.
kept a lot of it in there. But I mean, it wasn't a hard scene to edit. The only crazy things I did was like the camera flashes and all that. It's like it wasn't bad.
And getting everybody to like yell all at once so that it sounded
That
like a
was
room full
4
of people.
layers of them saying different things, and I just so like you'll hear Jacob say Mr. Queen 5 times in about 6
Mr. Queen,
seconds.
Mr. Queen.
Mr. Queen, Mr. Queen, Mr.
Queen,
Queen. I had to,
Mr.
I had,
Queen,
I'm like,
Mr. Queen.
well, because whenever you hear the original audio, you can tell it's 4 people. Like it's
Yeah.
clear as day. It's 4 people.
But
Like-
with the magic of editing,
With editing does like wonders. especially
editing
sound.
tells the final
That's
story.
probably my
Thinking of
greatest
Jacob
like
now, like-
sound edit, like
Mr. Queen,
like
Mr.
profile.
Queen.
But like,
Mr.
well,
Queen.
if you listen closely, you can hear it. Mr. Queen,
It's just
Mr.
Jacob.
Queen, Mr. Queen. I'm like,
Jacob.
but it's funny. But
What?
but whenever that got released, I think people kind of started to take it serious. I think when people heard what we were trying to do,
They were like, yeah.
they're like,
sure.
they're
You're
like,
gonna do
yeah, like,
That
there's-
was the
there's
funniest
no
thing
way
ever.
this is
Is
gonna
I can
happen.
remember talking on like other film sets with people about this because I was just so excited about it, and they would come up to me and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, you're in Nick's superhero show, aren't you?" Like just kind of like as a way to like make fun of me a little.
So here's
people, Tim.
so here's when
Yes.
We're live!
so
Tim
here's
won't watch this.
so I think when people really started to kind of take us a little bit seriously was the press conference scene that we released. So like the teaser.
Yeah.
And whenever they saw us in the costumes on set for the first time in the warehouse,
Mhm.
I think that's when we kind of got some street cred
Oh,
on
the
campus.
warehouse.
Oh no! And when we released all the videos of
warehouse.
us training and the
Well, yeah,
NPR
we
run,
had like all the training videos. We people were like,
when
like-
people saw us training in NPR, they were like, "Oh shoot! Like this."
but
is...
no, even then they're kind
Which
of like,
again, by the
well,
way,
I feel like
so
that's
proud of
kind
you.
of like,
Thanks.
I feel like that was kind of like the start. Of,
I was
like,
a
getting
proud
it.
stunt dad.
We did a really good job. We kind of co-did it, but you really
Because
took the lead
because
on
you
it.
because I was able to work off of you so well because
Well,
you're
see, you're
not
more-
afraid to experiment and take L's.
Well, the thing about it is where I have a
Oh.
professional wrestling. Yeah, that was bad. I have a professional wrestling background, so like I can do more acrobatic stuff, which suited her character more. And then you
Mhm.
were more like, hand-to-hand combat, bruiser style. Which I mean, you can tell in some of the fight scenes, like me and you do. That fits our style more. And like
Uh-huh.
some of the stuff that we worked on, it's more acrobatic. It's
Yeah.
crazy. But like I said, the first things we released, the first stuff we released with the full costume in the warehouse, I think it's like that's when we people started to really respect that
It wasn't just
it wasn't a Blue Renegade Part 2. Like it was
thank God.
like okay.
Thank God. God is real.
I hate that project so much, and that was gonna be my
Blue
legacy
Renegade doesn't
on
deserve
campus. That was gonna be my legacy on campus because people.
Hannah's the only one.
I
that
to
had
this
cater
day,
to
I
Blue
still have, I had people on campus like even while this was going on, people like, "Hey, Blue Renegade." I'm like, I say people, it was Nate Stevens. All right, Nate Stevens, constant to this day. He's like, texted me on my wedding day. He's like, "Way to go, Blue Renegade." Like, come on, man. But
Moose.
it was, I think it was the legitimacy of what we were doing. It was seeing that like we knew what we were doing. We were kind of
It was a combination of knowing what we were doing because you're all
yeah.
very obviously in film school, but we're all also so equally
Passionate.
passionate
So-
about this.
And that was
Passion is
okay.
what makes it work.
So that was another thing I did for them in pre-production. When we officially had all of our crew or our cast done, and I'd gone to Lexington Comic-Con, and I came back, and I had books for all of them. So I got her Black Canary book, I got him a Red Hood book, I got our Nightwing actor, I got him a Nightwing book, I got our Huntress a Huntress book. Those books were harder to find than I thought they would be. There was very few Huntress books, and it was from like the 70s.
Yeah.
But then I got her a book, and then I got Felicity wasn't actually a character in the comics. I don't think she still is. I think she's just a show thing.
She is just a show thing.
And so I was like, I can't really find a Felicity comic, so I just got her a Green Arrow comic.
Yeah.
But it's like I got them all like reading material so that we could not only go off like the show and everything we knew, but we could really study the comics a little bit more and learn the psyche of these characters beyond like our own knowledge, so we could really make these characters our own and try to bring these characters that people hold so dearly to their hearts, bring them to life and the respect that even like the creators I feel like would like enjoy a little bit.
Well, yeah, because especially working with Jason Todd and the Red Hood,
That's a hard character to do.
Yeah.
It's not only a hard character to do from the get-go, but this is not even the Jason Todd I'm used to. Because some people that don't know,
we pretty much created our own Jason Todd.
Basically, and for a lot of people that know me know that Jason Todd and the Red Hood is one of my all-time favorite characters in comics, and is probably, I would argue, my favorite DC character between him and like Joker, and stuff. But I love the character because I'm an advocate for the let's bump off the villains because obvious reasons. But I love the character so much, which I geeked out like a little girl when you asked me if I wanted to play him.
That was the best part about coming to both of these people to give them like, hey, I had this idea. I was like, because I knew how passionate. I mean, when we met, he was literally wearing this Red Hood jacket, this exact jacket. He wears it, a little Easter egg. I actually don't think it's on my YouTube channel anymore, but my film not Damaged Goods, that's not
That
mine.
was
Genuine
a summer
Attraction.
There's
too many film titles up in my head.
In Genuine
Attraction,
I
the
wore
film,
it as wardrobe.
He
for
wore
the
it as part of his character choice because he played this like geeky nerd character, which is very different from what he normally plays. But
it was fun.
So I came to him. I was like, "Hey, I want you to play Red Hood," and he was like a kid in the candy store. He started glowing. He was like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Dude." And then
I won't do it.
Yeah.
It's funny to watch you guys get super loud.
But
it's because there's the passion.
Yeah.
We could see the passion in the reading.
But and then like with her, I don't even remember how I just
we
was
were
like,
we were on Tim's set, and we just like, because we had so much downtime, I think.
there was so much time in between each take.
Yeah. That
Because
we
there
could
was a
just,
lot
like,
of
get
setup.
to talking, and then you were like, oh, like you're into like like comics and stuff like that, and I was like, oh yeah, like I love superhero movies, I love all this, and that's when you were like,
somehow
you said
Black Canary got brought up.
Well, it was
that was the
more
only reason
just
I
like,
thought about
well, you
it.
were like, well, I've been wanting to do an action series for what? You didn't tell me about Blue Renegade, but you were like,
I let you figure that one out.
You said, yeah, like I've done some action stuff in the past. Like I just really want to do a project this year, like an action project. Would you want to be a part of it? And I was like, oh yeah, it's like always been my dream to like play, some kind of superhero or whatever.
You don't tell them about your failures when you're signing them up. You let them figure out once they're under contract. You're like, oh yeah, I'll sign up. I was like, oh
actually,
god.
Black Canary didn't come up until we were on Elijah's set,
And
that was when
then
you
I
asked
said
him.
Black Canary, and we just
That's right. And
Yeah.
then we both looked at you, were like,
Yeah.
perfect. And you're like,
yes.
Yeah, because Black Canary.
Yeah, no,
was
you have
just-
to do that.
Yes. Black Canary was kind of like not like last minute, but just kind of like a decision that we made like on the fly, because he was initially asking you to play Red Hood,
yeah.
and then you were like, well, who else is going to be in it? Like, what other
Well, it's like,
characters are you
when you
looking
think
at?
Green Arrow, I feel like you immediately have to think Black Canary because those two
Yeah.
are so synonymous with each other.
Yeah.
So it's
Well,
like,
not only that, but I also said that I was like, I actually think I said, Jason Todd is coming for you. You're gonna need backup.
yeah, and it was like Black Canary, and we were like, Hannah.
Yes.
So we had that, and then, going back to the whole like legitimacy, and then like the warehouse. God, that warehouse.
Yeah.
Okay,
This is-
shout
I feel like
out
I need
on
to
that
put
note,
all
I
your
have an
hand
hour
on it.
drive back home.
The physical.
So
Oh, you leaving
I'm
now?
stepping out of the
Bye,
podcast
Hannah.
Okay.
now.
All right.
No.
Hannah.
Yeah, before we get to talking about the
Yeah.
warehouse, yeah,
We
you
Yeah,
miss
you
you
need to-
already.
Good luck
Wait,
with that.
Goodbye.
Huh?
Didn't you drive us? Or was that...
I can drive him
You-
back. Or someone can
my
drive him
stuff
back.
is in your car then.
Okay,
Sure,
I'm gonna steal Anne
Okay.
and whoever else.
And
has
we'll
to
talk
take
about the
mine.
warehouse right now.
Okay.
Okay.
The warehouse.
Because I'm sure
Warehouse.
Anne does not want anything to do with that
So
right
we'll
now.
get us three.
Okay, so
Oh, God, all right.
Bye, Anne.
TriCast. All right.
Okay, so,
So
the
this warehouse.
The
When
warehouse. Here's
When
the
I
tea.
knew that Nick wanted a warehouse,
Which is how I wrote
knew
it.
I read the script and I was like, oh great, I have to find a warehouse. So I had worked on a film previously where we filmed in this like old abandoned warehouse in Wilmore. Originally,
Oh
we
God,
were
I forgot
like,
about the original.
Yeah, and so originally we were like, yeah, that'll be perfect. It's like already like gross and dusty and all that.
It's like
stuff.
falling apart. What'd you
Uh-oh, she
forget?
came back.
Forgot your keys, didn't you?
I forgot my keys.
Hang on.
welcome back to the podcast. TriCast.
That didn't work.
That was not good.
Have
I
one.
didn't. I didn't.
That
What?
was not
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my boy Ryan. Ryan, come on screen for a second. My boy Ryan's here too.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, Ryan.
He's a fan of the web
Hello.
series. God
Bye,
love you.
guys.
Anyway.
See you, Hannah.
Bye. We love you.
Bye, Hannah. So that first, like,
Located,
warehouse,
yeah.
that warehouse that we were like, oh yeah, this will be perfect, didn't work out because the city wouldn't let us film
We couldn't
there.
get clearance
Well,
to film.
the
It
thing
was
was-
a hazard.
The thing was
It was-
also is because you guys told me about it, because as you know, credited like stunt choreographer on the thing, I said, okay, what is the footing like in this place? Was it
Oh yeah,
like
there's multiple.
what
We
is
like,
all
would-
this?
it
And,
would've
and did you guys ever
worked.
look at? You guys did look at it, right?
She
Oh,
had
I-
been
I
in
never
looked
that.
at it, and
I
I talked with you
never-
about it. You were telling me, I said, holes in ground acrobatics does not mix.
Well,
Yeah.
and that's like if you see some of the stuff like we
for
do in
my
the series,
insurance.
like some of the stuff we do in the series. If we would have been in that warehouse, you would have gone through the floor. I would have definitely on the
Yeah.
when you spin me out. I was through the floor 100%.
which would have looked great,
Okay.
I wouldn't have come back. But anyway,
but he would have
But-
died.
As my job as producer is
make
to
sure
just
we
make
don't die,
No, mostly it's to make sure what the director wants happens.
which was me. So
As stunt
I
director,
director.
it
I
was
told
my
her-
job to be like,
Yeah.
I don't want people dying because
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
a clean record.
It was great.
So,
So
and
this was a
then-
time and a half.
So when the city of Wilmore said no, you can't film there, I went to Nick. I was like, pick something else. And so
I was like, I honestly don't know. I'm like, I want a warehouse.
So that's when I remembered that when I did the sitcom class, we went and got some prop stuff out of like the physical plants warehouse where they store like old desks and stuff like that.
A lot of
And-
chairs.
A lot of chairs. And I was like, that's like, industrial kind of warehouse looking. Let's see if they'll let us use that. And I didn't even call them because I couldn't find their phone number on the website. I just went up to their office and was like, hey, is it cool if we film in here? And they're like, heck yeah, have fun.
They were so cool about it.
They were really. Fizz Plant was
Especially-
so chill.
Honestly, that warehouse was the best case scenario because they were, for the most part, they were like chill with us filming whenever we wanted.
We filmed so many.
We had
There was only
reshoots.
one night that we didn't go into like
Yeah.
4 a.m. territory.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
And like,
That was honestly, and that's one thing I will say was a big learning experience for us, is because
Back on the
that
ground.
was just back on the ground.
yeah.
Was just straight up unhealthy,
Oh,
that shooting schedule.
there was-
because
Yeah.
it was also
I'm
peaking
glad-
finals week.
Oh God.
And
Yeah.
your boy,
PTSD hitting
most
right
of
now.
us, pretty much, I think all of us, it's safe to say, I know me personally, for the entire week, I got maybe 5 hours of sleep. A straight week.
Since
Yeah, no, I don't
Like,
think I got-
together.
during the warehouse shooting, or like the shootings and like we did in the warehouse.
Don't do that.
I was doing
It's
so
not
many.
good.
I was doing so many other people's projects during the warehouse stuff too.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
first shoot with y'all, I got on set at about 3:00 in the afternoon at another person's shoot, and then before that shoot was done, was moved to another shoot. Shot with them until 6 or 7, and then was moved back
And then-
to finish the first one.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was just go hang out with y'all on y'all's shoot. Then I was
And that's
there
when he
until
became ramen guy.
6 a.m.
He did. Yeah, he just. So
Yeah.
he had the nickname Ramen Guy the first day he
I
showed
was
up
like,
on
I
set.
needed to eat dinner. I hadn't eaten in who knows how long.
Yeah.
So I was just like, well, I can either eat
So
alone in my
we're-
room or I can eat on a set.
So,
I went to a
so
set.
before we even see him get in there, we're going through like rehearsal, like some fight, like choreography to make sure we have the. And I turn, and Paul's just sitting there with a little
Camp
ramen
stove.
cooker and a camp stove. I'm like, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I'm hungry. I wanted ramen." Like, I can't argue with that logic.
Honestly.
So
Yeah,
it was
Camp stove
fun.
was pretty much how I fed myself for a while.
Yeah.
Those projects.
But
Yeah.
I mean,
It's smart.
Yeah.
and then
that was fun.
Will at Urban Ninja Project. God
Yes.
bless them too.
Also,
He
yes.
was so cool.
Big shout out to Urban,
Urban
Ninja,
Ninja,
Project.
freaking.
They are the illest. we love you.
Yeah,
Mwah.
Will
Like-
was so cool with us like shooting there, and again weird schedules and
Yeah.
Really
overnights.
late.
And some more overnights.
Overnight.
Yeah.
Most of our
This
so
one nearly died on their floor.
Oh yeah, we had a night where we were
That
filming in
was
so
Urban
bad.
Ninja.
it was our
And
first night in Urban Ninja.
No, it was.
Was
no,
it? I
It was
thought
like.
No,
It was
no,
the
no,
night
no.
that
It
we were
was
doing.
because
it
I
was
was there. It
weapons
was the
night.
night I
It was
was
weapons
there.
night.
So
Yeah.
it was like I had been getting sick, and I was like hitting my peak of like I'm definitely
you
dying.
had been getting sick throughout the day, and once we got there, it
Yeah.
kicked in, and you were gone.
Yeah, like Urban Ninja Project, like it's always hot in that building. Everyone's like you just walk in and it's hot. And
It helps burn
you
calories
know.
while you're doing all the parkour.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, I just looked at everyone and was like, "Is it weird that I'm like getting cold?" And everyone's like, "Yes." So I took some ibuprofen,
we were
wrapped up in a
worried.
blanket, and
we were
left.
worried.
passed
We
out
left,
on
yeah.
a.
We
crash
left
mat.
way later than we should have, and than we planned, which happened
Yeah.
a lot.
A lot had to happen in that
A
night.
lot.
Yeah.
Did we do a pickup
We
shoot?
also we're
No.
moving very quickly
No.
because of CS
That's
cards,
right. We
so-
didn't do a pickup
We
shoot
couldn't do a pickup shoot.
because we were out of time.
It was
So
literally
we
the
we
last
did
day.
one shoot, and I texted Will, and I was like,
Mhm.
"Hey, we're gonna be there on this day at this time." He's like, "Oh yeah, no problem. We'll leave it open for you." I'm like, "Oh, that's really easy." And
that's the thing too, is because
were s-
also, you know, we're really I pride ourselves on how professional we all are for not being professionals, quote unquote.
Mhm.
We're all very professional and very business oriented when it comes to being real life,
Mhm.
but we're also students and don't have a lot of credibility or any really reason for Will or Fizzplant to trust us.
Yeah.
Fizzplant was a little easier because we were Asbury students. It's just natural.
Will literally trusted
Will
us.
met us one time, was
We talked
super
to-
chill, and we asked him to shoot at an ungodly hour, and he was just like, "Yeah, you don't see that happen
It was
ever,
he was really cool about everything, and he was
Yeah.
really excited.
unless
about
you're
seeing it.
Spielberg or someone walking up in there. You don't see that for
just
people
doesn't
like
happen.
us."
We got
Yeah.
really lucky with the people we talked
Also,
to.
your crash mats fairly comfortable.
Also, yes, crash mats. God bless crash mats. I made you get us a crash mat for the warehouse.
And a
We hauled that thing
on a crash
from-
mat.
We hauled that
Dude.
from the warehouse at Asbury to the warehouse that we were shooting at because I'm like, Nick, I know you're comfortable with taking L's, but as stunt dad, I also am working.
I'm
with
not talking
someone
about that
who's never
one.
had that.
I'm talking about the crash mat. We're talking about the crash mats at
The
Urban
cra-
Ninja.
Yeah, the crash
We're
I'm
not
mats
saying-
talking about
were
the
great.
slab of concrete that's the crash mat. At
No, but
Asbury.
I'm saying like crash mats. God bless Urban Ninja's crash mats.
Yes.
Because even though I wanted a crash
were
mat,
like
that crash
clouds.
mat was, oh my god, worst crash mat ever. To be honest.
It like I said, I have a background in professional wrestling. It felt worse than bumping in a wrestling ring,
Honestly,
which is bad.
When I was working at SAFD, there was one really intense session I can remember where we were doing a variety of different styles. We went from doing Muay Thai, and we did some Krav Maga, and then they just straight up went into, all right, now we're just going to do really brutal like grappling street fighting that like has no style, but to pull off for like TV to like real for people who aren't experienced fighters in movies to make
Yeah.
it look real. And so we were taking a lot of L's on crash mats. We were getting flipped. We were getting thrown and stuff like that. And those crash mats, I thought were the worst crash mats I had ever experienced. I would have rather hit the bare ground. And then
I
we
would
had
rather
that
hit the-
crash mat
Yeah, dude. That
for the
was-
warehouse, and I said, this
You
should
didn't
not
bump on
even
it,
be
though.
legally a crash
You
mat.
didn't bump on any of the crash mats. I took all the L's.
You
Hannah
took all the L's, but
Hannah took
no,
one
because
L.
because I threw myself on it at one point because I was like, how bad is this? And I threw myself on it. I was like, like,
I took both our breaths. That's why I took one bump. I took like a half bump on it. And it took my breath. I was like, I'm not hitting that again until the adrenaline's flowing on a take because that's not.
and
really
Hannah
fun.
wanted to do a stunt like you. She wanted to take an L.
She wanted to take.
and I was like, Hannah,
She
this
wanted
crash
to be
mat
part of like the boys.
sucks.
She was
This
so
crash
willing
mat
just to like
sucks.
just to go through like she wanted to go through a table. She wanted to go through the wall. And we're like, Hannah, we don't have enough. Two,
Yeah,
You don't need to
we
do
only
that.
I
had
don't,
one
and like
take
I
at all.
also
we had one take that wall.
and also being strapped
Oh,
for
God.
time, like I didn't. It also was going to take a while to like properly train on the falling because you and I we can just take bumps and especially you because of your background.
Yeah, I feel like that, like a back bump or like a front bump.
You're
when I do a
really
bunch,
good about those.
I can
But-
land perfectly to where it.
But
I
with
can
that crash
cut.
mat, I'm like, I know you want to do something, but also like.
The
As your
bump
stunt
she
dad,
took.
I'm worried about you, honey, because this is
the bump
ungodly.
the bump she ended up taking though, like where it's just like the like pretty much
I
it's the rock bottom. Let's be real. It's not a choke slam. It's just
Well, no,
it's just like a rock bottom.
Yeah, because the idea was she wanted to do something like a choke slam for the web series, and I said, well, how about, because this crash mat is ungodly, she was already really wiped out at that point, and I am really picky about when people get super wiped out about continuing fight choreography, because we cut shoots because I'm like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
we cannot. Like, I'm like, I won't
it was
allow
getting. We were all getting so tired. It was just we were slowing down, so everything just didn't look right. So we would send people. I think how many shoots did we have at the warehouse? 5? Too many?
Too many. That's
Too many?
We had
How
too
many
many.
did we have?
We had, let's see.
Oh God, Ann will know.
I
For
should know
episode
this. I'm pretty
one,
Oh, God, it was
episode 1 we had
In fact, I
2
might have
shoots.
done
One of
that
those
too.
doubled with episode 5. Episode 5 we had.
Like 3?
I know we had 3. We had 3 for
we
sure.
had at least 3. There was 4 scheduled, but we were locked out one night.
Yeah.
So we
So
said.
there was 4 or 5.
Let's say I think there was
There
5
was-
shoots in that
There
warehouse.
was the one day that we had the pickup
Uh-huh.
from episode 1.
Mhm.
We had the day we were locked out. We had the god awful cold night.
Oh, that was
Oh,
bad.
God.
We all should have gone home way earlier, but we were all under a time crunch,
Yeah.
and like I'm glad we got the
Also
footage,
very
but
unhealthy.
Jesus
It got so
Christ.
cold I wasn't cold anymore, and that's just a bad place to
That's
be.
hypothermia.
Yeah, no,
That's-
it was
I'm glad I
really,
brought my heat blanket for that night.
it
That
was
was
bad.
dangerous.
And then we were in t-shirts at one point, being extras.
Oh, sure, yeah. Well, this will come out after episode 5, but yeah, y'all played the cops in the very, very end.
That's
Yeah.
not good. And then we had to do a pickup after that because there was
Yeah,
stuff
there was
we needed
5
to do.
shoots in the warehouse,
There was 4 or 5.
4 or 5 at least, unless we're
That's
forgetting.
just for episode 5.
Yeah, that's just for. But yeah, so but we
Episode
were
1.
in there so much, and it's weird because like I look at pictures and I'm like, I don't like that, but I'm like also, like that's like the meat and potatoes of the series is that warehouse. Like that's like
Yeah.
the.
I mean,
look.
it is.
That's I feel like that's where it really the series like. You know, when we were downtown Lex, we were like outside of Queen Consolidated, walking in downtown Lexington. Like that's cool, but like when you see superheroes, especially Green Arrow, like when you see the like in the CW, like the warehouses they're in, like the warehouse that we got, we were very fortunate because it looks just like a warehouse they would use. So now it's like, oh, it looks just like what they would use, and now we have our own characters. We have, a venue that like it looks legitimate.
Because
and so
let's be real. Warehouses are cool to watch when it's something in the context of a superhero.
especially
thing,
whenever
or-
you get into using the environment as a character itself. Which
Yeah.
I think we did a little bit of.
Yeah.
Like using the warehouse as kind of a character in the series.
Yeah.
We filmed in the same warehouse, but there's 2 very distinct warehouses. There's the warehouse that I lit and shot on, and there's the one that Maddie lit and shot on.
Which it's funny because in episode 1 you can tell which ones are different because it's like it's just ever so slightly. It's like that
the
shot
frame
looks different.
where you get spun out,
Dude,
it's
okay.
so obvious the lighting change.
Okay, I actually cracked my elbow. I had a hairline fracture in my elbow from whenever I go to kick Elijah and he spins me. I landed properly, but I didn't have any elbow pads on, and it was just concrete floor. And so when I landed, my elbows hit. I had a hairline fracture in my elbow. It swelled up so bad, and I had no mobility in it for like 2 weeks. That was bad. And I came to him like 3 days later. I'm like, guys, I fractured my elbow.
Okay, which is worse, you fracturing your elbow or that one stress knot I got on my shoulder?
That was bad.
That was so
bad.
funny.
She couldn't move her arm past
I
here.
came in. I woke up one morning and I was like, "Oh, it hurts if I move my arm past this or past this." I went to cinematography class, looked at our professor, and our cinematography class is like all hands-on, like setting up lights and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, "So I can't move my left arm." She was like, "You okay?" I was like, "I don't know." She's like, "Okay, you can be our model today." I was like, "All right." And so after class, Nick was like, "Here, let me look at it. Like, I did baseball. I have a bunch of shoulder injuries."
I messed up my shoulder
I did
in
baseball.
college,
Yeah, you did
so like I
baseball.
know how to like work on shoulders and like what
Yeah.
makes them move more and all that.
He didn't even look
So-
at it for
I
like.
know these-
I looked at it for like 30
He
seconds.
didn't
Like
even touch my shoulder.
I just
He goes,
kinda was like-
"Oh my god!"
I was
like, "What?"
I was like, all right, how far can you move? She goes here, and I was like, I know what's wrong.
Yeah.
And so I literally grabbed it and moved it up and we just started rubbing like the
he just
like back here.
spent a good like 10 minutes just like stretching my arm and like trying to rub the knot out of it, and I'm just like ow.
Which is
And
all.
this
This
is
is
like-
all in the middle of the whole warehouse debacle and all this.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the most stress of our lives at
We
that
were
point.
like downstairs in like just like in the middle of the hallway downstairs. I
Yeah.
went after you were done. I went upstairs, and our professor's office is like just upstairs.
Uh-huh.
And Hogan Camp.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
heard she keeps her door open, and I walked by. She was like, "Hey Sam, so who was torturing you?" I was like, "Oh, you heard that?" She was like, "Oh yeah, you okay?" I'm like, "I am now. Look, I can move my arm." Yeah.
So then we get, and then we had Maddie come on too. We haven't even talked about Maddie. I mean, she's.
yeah.
I miss
in
Maddie.
Indiana.
She's in Indiana. She can't be
Miss
with us
you,
right
Maddie.
now.
Miss
We all
Maddie.
miss you.
Miss you, Maddie.
But she
Thank
signed
you for
on.
saving
She
me by sending me
so
the file
for-
this way. I
yes.
had to start from scratch.
Yes.
yeah, that'd have been. Oh, we would have never gotten episode 5 done.
We still don't have
I mean,
Still not
it
done.
would have been very, very
I'm
further
still
off.
struggling.
Yeah, I know. At the time this is filmed, we are in crisis mode. We have hit the panic button like 11 times.
Yeah.
I've had one breakdown.
Yeah, it's bad. We had to. I mean, you'll
God
all know
bless
this
you.
by the time this comes
God
out.
bless you.
But we've had to actually postpone the release because it's nowhere even close to being done because there's so much that has to go into it and
There's a whole lot of spit
there's
polish.
a lot
It's
has to
just-
go into it. There's
It's a
just
lot of audio problems.
yeah.
And it's so funny
But-
because it gives me PTSD of my first proper project
Mhm.
that I did that is finally releasing because we would not let it die in post-production hell
Mhm.
because it's a decent project, but literally
Is that the sand one?
more than
Is that the sand one?
sand one? No. That was for DFP.
No, that was DFP. That was the one I shot.
No, this I shot.
This
This,
is
I
before
finished shooting
Asbury.
2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
And it was a really fun action project. But like all that to say, we lost more than half of our audio. It just got corrupted because it went between 2 different editors.
Mhm.
One did it on a completely different software and and then just didn't finish it. And then we had to take it. And then when we took it, not only were most of the files gone, but most of them we couldn't use
Mhm.
because he had worked on different
Yeah.
programs. So literally, between desktops going down for almost a year between the editors and my crew and everything, we literally spent a year trying to fix stuff and re-record
Yeah.
and all of that. And then there was such a lull in time. But all that to say, I mean, Forrest Gump said it best. Shit happens. Like, it really does. But
I mean,
how you
yeah.
bounce back from it is what counts. And honestly, if it were not like for Anne and the dedication and
Oh,
the
God, yeah.
time and just the
unsung
yes,
hero
unsung hero,
of this entire
or
production.
completely sung because
Oh,
we gush
we
about
let her
all
know
the time,
constant. We
and
let her know constantly.
But it's that type of dedication that gets stuff done,
Mhm.
not only in this industry, but just like
Yeah.
in general. It is passion and grit and blood and sweat and a whole lot of crying and mental breakdowns
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
gets stuff done. Again,
Episode 1
God
was bad enough.
bless you.
So yeah, so we'll talk about Maddie sign on real before we get.
Maddie.
Maddie was
Maddie
great.
Jackson.
So Maddie,
Yes,
I
amazing.
hadn't really even talked
Our
to Maddie.
steady
Maddie
fan.
like knew who I was. I guess I don't know how, but apparently my reputation preceded me at school at some point. But-
I told her, I was telling her about it.
Blue Renegade
No,
apparently
okay, I
got
told
way
Maddie
more popular.
about the project.
It was
Well,
because
no, no,
amazing.
even before the project, she like knew my name and all this. I was like, I don't remember having a class
See,
with her at all.
Maddie
but
Jackson and I became friends.
We had
on
producing
a hell
together.
of a shoot.
That's how.
It was
My
a shoot
mind's
that
like-
was literally hell for a class that we had together. That's how we became friends.
Yeah.
And then she realized how overcommitted,
Wait, did we
how
have
I
producing
overcommit
together?
myself, and she designated herself.
I don't know. We had a class together.
She designated herself my agent, and so all future projects were supposed to go through her.
But so
Yeah, you
That
know
yeah.
how that works.
So Maddie and I really hadn't like had a conversation really outside of her being a labbie and me needing to check out equipment. And then one day before class, because she was in our cinematography class, and Sam, it's like deja vu. She's walking up with Maddie now instead of Ann. She's like, Maddie wants to help, and I was like, you need a project, don't you? And she goes, please. And I was like, you can work on episode 5. At this point, Anne's doing flips. She's throwing a party because she has to work with 5 eye lines and fight choreography that she now no longer has to do by herself.
Yeah.
So she was like, "Oh, thank God, I don't have to."
Plus,
Which
Maddie
was
Steadicam certified.
Maddie was Steadicam certified, so we could get more shots off. We could get more creative shots, which we got a lot of creative shots with that. And God bless her, she stayed in the Steadicam rig for 6 hours that one night.
Yeah.
She
That is
probably had a
very
6-pack by the end of it.
They both
Should've had a
had
six-pack.
6 packs. Anne and Maddie both had 6 packs.
I was
held her
jealous.
Wrists together with tape.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
showed up on set one night with the self-sticky
How
tape.
heavy would you say the camera is?
The
Which
camera
one?
body itself,
The camera body plus a lens.
plus a lens.
You're
Like,
probably
the
looking
C500.
at like at least 12 pounds.
I was gonna say probably closer to 15, depending
And
on
that
which
is
lens
that
you
with
have.
the lens? Yeah, depending on which
With-
lens you have, that's
Just
like
15, just like
10
this.
between 10 and 15 pounds.
Mhm.
You're holding on a rig on your shoulder like this
You yeah, because you
For,
you
like,
shoulder mounted most
I
of it.
shoulder rig most of
6
the
hours
times.
at a time. It's
So, like,
not
it
fun.
was-
Heroes, the real heroes.
Yeah,
of this
no,
web
they
series.
both did a really good job on cinematography for everything involved. And then by that time we had finally started doing the edits for episode 1 because we were going to release it. We were going to try to enter it in Highbridge, which these two suckers over here tried to pull a fast one on me. I caught on by accident. I
Yeah.
wasn't supposed to
Oh,
know.
yeah.
I didn't. So we get all the way through.
We entered it.
Well, we entered it. We entered episode 1 into our film festival at school, Highbridge Film Festival,
That was
and so we're on.
Yeah.
So we
we
me and
finished
you,
filming
we finished filming the very last fight scene for episode 1. We came back to what's called the Miller Building, which is our communications building. So we came back there, and Ann and I went to work, and I say we. She started editing and was asking me questions since I was directing, like, "What do you think of this cut?" I was like, "Yes, works fine."
Collaborative efforts and
It was
whatnot.
and then like we had kind of a morale of people there with us, and then one by one, as the night got later, it turned into me and Ann, and then by the end of it, it was literally just Ann because I dozed off for like probably 15 minutes to get a little cat nap in, and
You were
then
out for longer than you think you were.
I probably slept for like an hour. I don't know, but by the end of it, we had a very rough cut of episode 1, and it was incredibly rough. I look back at that and I'm like, oh, God. It's so like choppy and like the transitions.
the one that was entered in.
yeah, it
The
wasn't.
thing is
It was
still,
the first full
for
cut.
being a full cut. It still was pretty clean.
I mean, it was
For
clean, but like
everything that went
all
into
things
it,
considered, like the time that we had, like it was a miracle
was
that got in.
pretty clean.
Yeah.
But so submissions were due at noon.
That
We
day.
turned that day, so we got the last shot off, like filmed, put on the card, into the edit suite, the night before. Technically, by the time we got back, the day of,
Mhm.
and we
Yeah.
put it together.
Oh god.
I took that and another film I'd done. I submitted them before class. Went to class, fell asleep in class.
As you do.
Yeah.
I did that a lot,
Same
unfortunately.
way.
That's why Walker didn't like me by the end of the class because I
You fell,
I
like-
kept falling.
I fell
You
asleep
just
once in
you
class.
quit showing up. I fell asleep.
I showed up for
Most of
most
them,
classes. I only skipped like 2 or 3 classes.
It was towards the end of
And I
production.
fell asleep once.
By the way, let's just touch on that for a second.
Let's not get into teacher politics.
Anyway. Yeah,
But
so
so
they
we-
pulled an all-nighter to
So we pulled an all-nighter
submit.
to submit it and to make sure that it got in, or to at least it got submitted, and then the waiting process happened. Well, how long was it? A week?
It was
No.
delayed.
It was longer.
It was long.
It was supposed to be like just under a week, and it was
Yeah.
a week and a half, almost 2, before
Like
we
a week
found
and a
out.
half.
Because we were shooting bits of episode 3.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were shooting bits of episode 3. We knew it was coming out. Like the results were like announced; they were coming out, and we're on set, and we're all just kind of like waiting because these two were on the they're in the class that that knows everything, so they knew
were some
we
of the people
weren't even
responsible for running hybrid.
We weren't even supposed to know whether or not we got in at that point, and
Gould came and pulled me.
so she gets pulled from set.
And
But this is before we even know.
No, this was like right after, because I got the message in like the group.
She got pulled before I was told anything. She was gone.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
and got pulled by the professor off set because we're in the Miller building still. We're filming in one of the offices. Also, thank you to Heather Hornbeek for letting us.
You're awesome.
So quick thing, because I know I won't get in trouble because I have my diploma now. I ripped half the paint off that ceiling from the gaff tape.
Oh my god.
Because we had to tape a cord up on the top.
Wait, which office are you in?
Hornbeak's.
No, like which office is that? Is that the one by the stairs?
No.
It's like in the middle, right across from the Collegian.
Okay.
Right next to it.
Actually,
on her ceiling, right above her desk, there's like X's all over her ceiling.
Anecdotally, they're having to repaint that room anyway.
Yeah, I know. That's why I wasn't too worried about it. I was like, as long as no one looks up, we'll be okay.
Summer film also.
Yeah. But yeah, huge shout out to Heather Hornbeek for letting us use her office. But anyway, so
I was the audio and video director of the film festival, so I had.
She was busy as well,
but
besides
her job. I'll let you tell your jobs. I won't tell everything.
So my job essentially meant that I was responsible for creating everything seen and heard at film festival. So motion graphics, making sure that the films that were selected are put in the correct order, creating awards things for everything that could potentially win an award and what actually did win an award, because awards aren't given out or decided upon until day of festival. So in light of all of this, I needed to know ahead of everybody else what got it. So Proffel knew that we were filming, came and got me, brought me into his office, and sat me down and was talking about things, and he said, so your film wasn't selected to be screened, but it's been decided that you're going to be recognized for your costuming.
Which is
How
really
do you
cool.
want to go about this? And there's, of course, logistics of, so we need a 30-second promotion showing what we got an award for that I need to get together and then submit, but I didn't want to let the cast know that we got it, because I wanted it to be a surprise.
Yeah.
We'll get to you.
But we're all. He's not on set because he didn't have to be because his character wasn't called for.
And I was
So
a tired boy.
It's me, Hannah. It was just me and Hannah was on set.
No,
I
I
think.
was on set.
Well,
was
you
Sam,
were on
because
set.
I was
I'm
half
talking.
on set.
I'm talking cast.
Okay.
It was
Cast-wise,
me,
it was just you and
me,
Hannah.
Hannah. Amy had stopped by to be there for the announcement, and then after it was announced that we didn't get in, she had left.
Mhm.
So it's me and Hannah on set. I'm like, all right, I'm kind of pissed off at this point because I'm like, I've seen some of the stuff that it got submitted. I was like,
and that got
the
in.
ego in me was like, all right, I know this is better than some of this stuff. Like we should be in. We should be in. It's like the kind of like I felt like we were cheated out of it. But but I felt like we were cheated out of it, and so like I sent our group chat this like big long paragraph about you know just high spirits, and these two are just like laughing at me.
No, I didn't.
No.
Okay, no, because
No,
you
I say
said
like
that.
laughing in your head because
no,
like
you sent that before I knew.
oh you didn't know yet?
No,
No.
so
Okay.
we were on set filming, and you sent that long paragraph. I was like, oh, that sucks. We're not in, But I was also on that set, and also on a different set.
That's when you were doing date debate too, right?
Was date?
No, this wasn't date debate. This was
The
I
Caleb
had
Dennis set?
no. I had done Caleb's. I had done makeup for Caleb Dennis's. I then was on yours, and then left yours to do the podcast set.
Oh, that's right. You left early to go do
Yeah.
the. Oh
I left-
Jesus.
So I'm like basically on two sets at the same time. I'm
Yeah.
trying to get you guys set up so that you can not need me, and also having to go to the prop room and pull a bunch of stuff
that was a nightmare.
for the podcast.
Yeah.
And so Anne pulls me aside really quick, and she was like, "So Sam, we want you. Basically, you won an award. So there's and I was just like,
See, this
And,
is
like,
why I wanted to
yeah,
talk about this. 'Cause I
Sam-
didn't know this stuff.
Sam was on
Yeah.
the Miller team, which was responsible for putting together essentially the after party after the festival. So I
Yeah.
knew that they were still going to be doing stuff while the festival's going on. So I needed to make sure she was going to be in Hughes, where the festival
Yeah.
happened, to receive her award. So I had to tell her ahead of time that
Yeah.
she was getting something.
Yeah.
So
So she was like, yeah, you basically make sure you're in Hughes because you've won an award for, Arrow. And she was like, also, we need a 30-second clip showing off your costumes. Like, what do you want in? I was like, can we talk about this later? Because I've got too many other things happening right now. I was just like, yeah, that's cool. Okay. And I, quickly moved on because I was on, I had 3 sets that day.
Yeah.
All within, 6 hours.
So then flash forward to the next day. I'm at lunch. You said something that got my mind thinking. I'm like, did they pulling a fast one on me? Like, did we get in? Like, I sent something and I sent it to you. I'm like, did we get in? And
yeah, you sent.
it was just she said I don't remember what it was, but
I think I still have the messages.
we don't text that much. It's all in the group chat, so
Yeah.
messages can't be that far apart. Because I was like, did we get in? And she was like, crap.
No, hang on. I have stuff.
She still has the messages,
Hang
which is.
on.
Okay, well, Anne's looking for the messages.
But anyways, while
So
she's
I have-
okay, she found them.
April 17th, I get a text from you, did we get nominations? And I responded, did Hogan Camp email you? You responded, no, what about? My response, in classical me way, nothing, can't say anything, never mind, bye.
Which at that point I'm like, all right, she's not telling me
You
something.
responded, oh, I replied, shh. And you're like, and what's going on? My response, although in theory, if we were to, get an award even though we aren't being screened, what 30 seconds do you want shown? Yeah, you
So
can't mention
at this
anything.
point, my wife's sitting next to me. Well, she was my fiance at the time, and I look at her and I was like, you can't say anything, but I think we're gonna be okay. She goes, what? I was like, you can't say anything. She goes, I don't even know what I'm supposed to say. I'm like, just don't say anything. So then after cause I was freaking out. I'm in the calf. I'm sitting with her at lunch. I'm freaking like, oh my god, like this is gonna happen. Like we're gonna get screened. And I'm freaking out. Like I'm smiling now. Like I have an eerie Joker smile. And the hardest part was then getting with them and be like, they're like, you can't tell them. I was like, no, we're not telling anyone.
Yeah.
No one's going to find this out. The best part is that I'm terrible, absolutely terrible at holding secrets.
Yeah.
So this was the most impossible thing in the world for me to do, was to tell the people that I'd grown, super close with and become my family, and not tell them that what we had kind of set out to accomplish has kind of happened. So it's this, the payoff that we had worked for happened, and we were kind of lied to, but not. But we were. So I had to go for
Semantics.
2-3 weeks, and on constant sets with them. The best one, we were on Sam's shoot for one of her projects, and I'm sick of I got to drop a hint or something, and we were on set, we were doing a location, or no, we were
shooting.
We were in between scenes. We were waiting on her to come back from a meeting.
Oh yeah.
And I
That's a
look.
whole other side story.
No, we were packing up. I take that back. We were packing up because you were there. Because you looked at me you gave me a stern look.
I did in my full.
That's
Full
stern.
full
That's
zombie
stern
makeup.
and
And I was like, man, Sam, you do such a good job with costuming. It's like someone should give you an award for it. And she looks at me like, you better not say another word. I was like, and
Right
dude,
over Hannah's
poor
head.
Hannah. Just, I wish you were here to kind of, but it's
Yeah.
right over.
Right over
I
her.
knew he was too clever to catch on. So I couldn't say anything around him, and he wasn't part of that shoot. So it was
Smart
really,
man.
it was very very easy to get him out of the loop. So.
However, every
and then-
single day leading up to the festival, this one had to make a comment.
We were
about
taking
how happy
bets
he was.
at one point, okay, how many days in a row is he, the week of, how many times is he going to say it? Every day was one comment that
At
was
least.
at least
Yeah.
one comment be man, it's crap, we should be in there. And all three were like,
and let me just touch on that a little bit,
Yeah.
because so my big thing was this project. So much time went into it, so much love that we've gushed on about for an hour now.
an hour.
It honestly is probably my arguably my favorite production I've ever been a part of, and that's including stuff that I've done with like the SAFD, doing like theater productions in Chicago, just because of the teamwork, the love, the familia, like everything. I loved it, and what we had for the time that we had and the supplies we had for everything that went wrong, I thought was so good. Yeah, the rough cut that we submitted, it was rough. But not really that rough. It was pretty clean for being a rough cut. And especially in the time we had.
It was probably like 80%. Probably 75.
Cool 70.
I'll meet you at 72.
Okay, editing-wise,
but
yes. Audio-wise.
The audio was terrible.
Ooh,
But yeah, like...
Anyway, so like, when I found out and I saw the list of things that we didn't get in, I was actually enraged, but not for me and for me being on the project and the fact that I wanted to be in hybrid. It was because I knew it was your last year, and it's like it's your last. And a lot of I don't think
that was the first. That was the first thing I'd ever
first
submitted.
thing ever submitted to hybrid.
I never had anything that I was like
never any recognition.
I never had anything like through my film classes. I never really made anything that I was like really like, this is, I'm proud of making this, like this is what I want to show to the world. Like I never really made anything until the series. Yeah. And then like I was like, and then we made it, and I was like, especially when it got put together, and I saw it all come together.
And that's the thing. It all came together, and it came together really nicely. Really nicely.
A little too well, honestly.
And so the thing is that I was enraged not for myself, but for the people I worked with.
Yeah.
And because I went on and on to them, I'm like, Highbridge Film Festival is supposed to be an exhibition of the students' skills, because we're always encouraged to make projects even when we physically can't or it's hard to.
Yeah.
And express and show off our skills and the quality that can be made. And it was quality and so much skills in there, and cinematography and the editing and production design, and directing. And like honestly, in acting, like you and Hannah, you guys were great, and so
I'd take that as
Annie, Annie was awesome.
Annie did
Annie's not here. I wish Annie was here.
I wish she was here. So okay, quick story about Annie. So we had gotten to the point I was like, I kind of like to have like a Felicity. Well, no, I had written in a Felicity character in the first episode.
Written in Felicity,
and I was like, okay, I need to have someone that can be Felicity and can be kind of convincing and have that look. And we started going through we had an actor's book on campus. I was looking through and I was like, there's no one in the book. And then I was just walking through the bistro and I saw Annie sitting there, and I was like, okay. And then I kept seeing her.
I don't know if you knew her at the time, because I knew her.
I didn't know her. I'd never talked to her, nothing. The first thing that she'd ever heard of me, spoke to me, anything. I sent her a DM on Instagram, was like, hey, I'm with Battle for Star City. We're looking to cast this character. We think you're good for the role. You have the look that we're looking for. I didn't know she acts at this point. I'm literally just I'm messaging a random girl on campus, hey, we want you to be in this. Please?
Well, yeah. Maybe.
And she was like, yeah, send me a script. And I was like, oh, this is lining up way too well again. And then she did a really good job, especially with the kidnapping scene. Bro, she was in her role.
She actually psyched herself out for real because
she did such a good job.
It was so good.
For someone who's, did she say she'd acted before maybe or something maybe in high school?
She said she did some plays and stuff.
She did theater back in high school, but she did a really good job for not really acting in a while. I mean, I don't act that much either, or really before.
We love
this.
Annie.
But Annie did a really good job.
Yeah, we love Annie.
She was a kind spirit to have on set as well. But
all that to say, a lot of talent.
Yeah, a lot of talent, a lot of
heart. And the thing is I had seen, and I knew the projects, a lot of them that got in, and I knew what they were about, and I'd seen them. And it also made me mad because not only have I seen people get certain people get projects in before, but also, in my opinion, a decent bit of the projects in there, had no business being in there. They had a couple cool aspects to them, but for the most part, it didn't have meat there, and whatever. So I was really mad for them because I was like, this was their last chance. These people are some of the most talented people on campus in their own right, and they deserve to be recognized. I was fuming.
See, and on that,
But
but
daily,
okay,
on the
real
daily.
quick, before we get to that.
No, see, this was it didn't hit me, none of this hit me until, like, the day after Anne told me, and we were sitting in my office in Miller.
It was the original Insomniac studio, let's be real.
Yeah.
A conference room that I just kind of claimed. And Anne and I were discussing, like, what we were going to do for the 30-second clip, and all of a sudden it hit me. I was just like, oh my god, I'm winning an award.
You started crying.
I cried a little bit.
See, it
because,
didn't...
like, I have this thing where I need constant validation. And
Which isn't a bad thing.
yeah,
Like, it's...
my
You're a
love
production
language is
designer.
words of affirmation. And, like, but it's not just that, it's also, like, I have to be the best at what I do. No matter what it is, I'm basically, if I'm wanting to do something, I have to.
You give
I can't just be
100%.
good.
Yeah.
I have this, like,
Which-
deep-seated need to just be
Which
the best.
I think that's why, like, all of
That's
us
part
work
of-
so well together, is
Yeah.
that we have this constant...
Ambition.
Like, we don't settle for anything less than, like, our
Yeah.
100% best, which is, like, I mean, that's why, like, we
We're able to pull it off.
Pull it off, and that's
That's
unfortunately,
why
like, that's why
we're
we're delaying 5,
And
because
that's why we're delaying.
like we don't want to cut people short, and especially
Yeah.
like I feel like we genuinely have fans of the series.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like episode 1 got a lot of hits.
Mhm.
Then like the hits went down, but I mean, like I feel like there's still a lot of people that follow the
Yeah.
series like constantly,
and, like,
to give them something that's not polished, something that's not
Not our
like
100%.
yeah, like
but
it's
to
not fair to
realize that I was
them.
getting this award just meant so, like, I had been the past 3 years been like, man, that's all I really want. Like, I want a Highbridge award, like,
Yeah.
man. But
I feel like
as
that's like
someone who was originally was like, oh, producers don't, like, get awards, you know, and that's that's what I was doing. A lot of was producing, and the production design came in fairly late. I was like, oh, I'm probably never gonna win one, but even though I really want a Highbridge award, I ended up winning 2.
you did.
I
yeah.
did win 2.
She ended up winning too, which
Yeah,
was really
I
cool.
won best
Perfectly
production
deserving.
design for a different film that I did.
Yeah.
Also, watch the date debate.
Yeah, we'll watch
Yeah,
Date
seriously,
Debate
watch
was a
Date
lot-
Debate.
a
It
lot
was
of
It's
fun.
really
so
well
good.
done.
It was so good.
It was
Super
really
well
cool.
done.
I'll give
Yeah.
I'll give David a quick shout
David,
out on that.
shout
He
out
did
to
a really
David
good job
Demano,
on
we
that.
love
David
you.
Demano,
That
we
was-
love you.
it was a lot of fun.
You did good.
But
You and Kylie
no,
did
like
good.
for me though, because I mean,
Mhm.
you knew before I did,
Yeah.
but like for me, I wear my emotions on my sleeves 90% of the time. Like, so I'm a very open person about like
Wear your
about
sleeves.
what I'm feeling. Shut up. Shut up. It's a metaphor, you know it. But I'm very open about what I'm feeling. I'm not one. I mean, I didn't used to be like that, but like I'm not one to be like hide how I'm feeling. But about like the whole winning the award, I can't like express my excitement because we're not telling anyone. Like it's funny. I was told not to tell anyone, and I was telling everyone but the cast. But I would make sure like, but don't tell the cast.
Yeah.
Somehow.
And I
And
wasn't
somehow it worked.
Somehow no
On
one
Asbury
on
University.
I heard
no
Trace
one on
campus.
no one on
tell
the
the rest of
cast.
my team for Highbridge because I was like, by
Yeah.
the way, guys, so I
Yeah.
can't even if things aren't done in Miller for before showtime, I have to be in Hughes for showtime because
Fun story about that, actually.
Yeah.
On an anecdote. You and I ended up running from.
Oh yeah, we ended
I
up
was the
having to sprint from the Hughes.
So I was the lighting
Yeah.
designer for the after party on
Mhm.
both sides, both
Yeah.
the VIP room and the normal room for
Yeah.
Miller. And so I wanted to be at the festival because I was going
Mhm.
with Jonathan Gross and some other friends. And,
Yeah.
But I wanted to be at the thing, and so I left the balcony, ran to this one, and we were running.
Yeah, I'm
Did
in
you?
heels, in,
Which
dress.
badass.
Yeah, and we were just like, cause like I was like, oh crap, I gotta get to Miller. Like as soon as the
Which is
award
like
show was
it's
over,
like
I
a
was
five.
like, I gotta
It's
book
about
it.
a 5-minute walk.
But
Yeah.
behind us,
It's like it's not
was
far, but like
It was like the whole
It's all
horde
up.
of
yeah,
everyone.
it's all
from
up
Hughes.
and then
was
it
great.
levels
the
out.
entire festival was behind us.
Yeah.
And they saw us running, and they started
Yeah.
running as well.
But the reason we were running is because we had to make sure that everything was set and ready for
I
them
wanted to make sure the
show up.
building didn't catch fire.
Oh yeah, because we have a lot of gels.
We had a lot
that,
of
Yeah,
lights
that was-
that
Possibly
weren't
could have
doing
caught
what they're
on
supposed
fire.
to be doing.
Yeah.
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 But like,
It was
It
pretty.
looked really good, and nothing caught on fire, so we're good.
yeah, but it wasn't until
Mhm.
because I knew when they were going to show it because it was Hogan Camp and
No, it wasn't.
oh god, who helped her?
It was like 3 a.m.
And Whitaker, thank you. It was when
Whitaker.
Hogan Camp, yeah, David.
David, I
Great.
love you.
Yeah.
You're the GOAT.
But it wasn't until Hogan Camp and Whitaker came up. I was like, okay, we have a couple extra films. And before this, I was like, okay, I'm like, Aero Crew, we're all sitting together. Like, still trying to be kind of sneaky about it.
But the thing is and that's funny because when you said that, I didn't think twice
he
about
didn't even,
it.
he's like, yeah, cool,
Because
that makes
yeah,
sense.
we're sitting together. We've been working on
But,
stuff.
so,
Why wouldn't we?
My master plan was to video their reaction whenever it hit the screen. Because the cool thing about the way we edit, that she did the edit for our teaser, is that it's like the series. You hear the music, and
Before
then you see the stuff. So they heard the first 2 notes, and they look at me. And so I had my wife had her phone, or my phone, recording. Unfortunately, you can't see it because it's dark, and I didn't want to have flash on and be like, oh, it's obvious now. But so it was also better because we went second. So our friend Keegan, he went first. He did a really good job on some visual effects.
Yeah.
It was absolutely stunning how he built it. He built this entire world from scratch. So like that went first. I was like, okay, this is gonna work out in my favor for the surprise because they have no idea. So it's like they've shown all the films.
Did
and
Did they?
They've
show
shown
Keegan's
all.
first?
They showed Keegan's first because
Oh, yeah.
Keegan's film's gone first. And then because Whitaker announced
Because they
ours.
talked about special effects and then they said
Whitaker. Did Whitaker? Whitaker announced visual effects. Hogan Camp announced us, and I remember it went dark, and I started to kind of shake a little bit because I knew what was about to happen, and then I heard the music. You guys heard the music, and you both looked at me. You were directly to my right.
And Hannah's
Hannah's right in front of me. Sam,
was like-
my wife's to my
Yeah.
left. Sam's 2 seats down from me. You had Austin in between you and Elijah. I remember this very vividly. Like this is still one of the craziest moments of my life. Like outside of my wedding, this was the coolest thing ever. Wedding's number 1 until I have like a child. Then child number 1, wedding 2,
and then
wedding hybrid's number hybrid just like it's gonna stay up
a
there.
lot can happen between now and then, bro.
But like I remember hearing the music and then seeing your reactions. But like the thing
Because
that
I said
well, and it was because like you can hear me in the video. I go surprise. It was like the jig's up. It's like it's on.
Yeah.
And
Hannah didn't say anything.
She was
started shaking and was
she was
sitting
like-
there like this, just
and
like
then
watching
she was
it
like
on the
it was so
screen.
cool. But like the thing that really
Mhm.
that made me like I cried. Like,
You
I'm
did.
not-
Oh yeah, no,
No,
I
you
we
were
were both.
bald.
I had to hug
I
you.
bawled like a baby during that.
I
because-
hugged you like for
Well,
real.
see,
for real,
the
bro.
thing that really got the thing that got me though was the music hit. It came up and people realized what it was,
Mhm.
and
and they
cheered.
cheered, and they were
Yeah.
like genuinely excited for this project, like to be like shown on the big screen,
Which also
and it was
melt.
it was cool because like for me like being like this being my brainchild, it was the validation of everything. Not like that I wanted, but it was like it's cool because like something I created from pretty much scratch really. Like it's an original story, but I brought in characters. But it was seeing this thing that it came from my brain that I'm really passionate about get this recognition from people that were excited about something I was making, and it was just cool. It's something like I never really experienced before. Because in high school, up until like the Avengers really released, like even then, like comic book characters were like, nerd, and like you got made fun of.
No, yeah, it's
So like, and then like I go to college, I go to film school. That I took a lot of flack on that in high school too. Oh, you're gonna be a film guy.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I
and-
felt that.
And then I get I'm the comic book nerd, and then I go all the way through college. In my last year, I
Okay.
make
My eye get red.
a.
Did my eye turn red? My eye's burning.
Are you okay?
We got onions in here or something?
oh my gosh, it's just so much emotion.
But like I
have allergies.
Nothing. She's.
but it was like it's not so much as like
Got
it wasn't for me. It wasn't just like the culmination of like the last 4 years of school. It was like to me that was like when I really found out who I was as a person. Is because like I throughout like to me it showed me that throughout life I stuck true to my guns and who I was, and I made something that wasn't necessarily popular, but like I put my heart and soul into it, and then because I did that, it was you could see it, and it was accepted. Like it was I mean I feel like you can really see it through the episodes. Like that's what we want to do. This is what we want to do. This is our project. This is our thing, and like I said, it was cool to see people like I said, we have fans. That's the craziest shit like I can say is like we have fans as like we're 22, 23, 21,
Almost 21.
21, close, about to be 21. Like we're 21-year-old kids, and we have like fans of like the stuff we do. Like you don't just like that's like storybook ending shit. So like it was cool to see like this polished turd that we somewhat created, and like people are like that's really cool.
No, it was a lump of coal that turned into a diamond, bro.
But it was unbelievable. It was something I dreamed of. Like Sam said, like that was the goal. Like in school was win a Highbridge Award, and to like go through school and I'm 1 for 1. Like I'm batting 1,000. Like I submitted 500. I submitted another project. I didn't get recognized, but it's all right. That was a long shot. But like the project, I was like, this is it, and like it was cool. It was really it was emotional, and to have like
it was
all
great. We we got up on. They called our names, and we go to get up on stage, and I'm still crying.
She's still losing. I've got one tear. You can see in the
Yeah,
video.
You see the video.
You can see the I go. I walk one. Don't worry. All my baby tears were in the seats.
No, they were.
And then the spotlight
like
hits
I
me. I'm
said,
like,
I hugged this.
I was like, man.
Nope, I was.
And then
I'm
one
full,
one
still
tear,
trying.
one tear snuck its way out on camera, and I was like,
get back in there.
I was like, get back in there. You see me go like this. She's still crying. Where it was just cool to be like.
I was crying up until we got up on stage. Hogan puts a medal around my neck.
She
gives me a hug. She's like, I'm so proud.
I don't know about you. I don't know about you, but I was shaking like a dog.
Oh, me too. Absolutely.
It was the most awkward thing. Cause I'm like, I get up to stage and I'm like,
yeah,
because it took so long for us to get up there. People were clapping, and there was like 10 seconds of silence.
Yeah.
And then
because this is the very first award announced, we then had
up
to stand
there
on the edge of the stage
time,
for the rest
like
of the award.
15 minutes
which
we're
is
still
really
up there.
Funny.
Just looking into the crowd, I'm like, I can't
Which
see
you can't see anyone because of the lights.
The lights are right in our face. We can't see anything. But
I,
it
of
was,
course, made it known that you could hear me, though, in the
I
midst
actually-
of everybody.
I could hear-
Because as soon as they were announced,
No.
I was just like,
So the thing that really made it worthwhile to me was I'd gotten the footage from the actual broadcast itself, and I'll put the picture in here.
Edit
And-
picture in.
And there's a picture of Sam's at the end of the aisle. I'm standing halfway up, or I'm up and I'm shimmying. He's halfway up. Hannah's sitting down in front of him, and they're both cheesing ear to ear with just excitement and joy. And that to me really, really made it kind of worthwhile, because two of these people that I had really met that year that had become,
unfortunately.
Yes, for some reason they stuck around. I'm still trying to figure that one out.
No, I meant unfortunately that we met so late.
That too.
All things considered.
I don't know how they stuck around so long, but
I don't know either.
But to see two people that I consider part of my family now, see them grinning ear to ear with pure joy, at the excitement that something they had worked on, they'd spent so many long hours, long nights, something we weren't even finished with. All things considered, we were in the middle of it.
Yeah.
We were just on a victory
filming.
lap.
I remember with the BTS shot, it was like, now imagine everything's in the can.
Yeah, and it's like we're even when he shot like a behind the scenes kind of documentary style, and we're still in the middle of shooting. But to see them smiling and just grinning ear to ear really made it worth all the long hours, the no sleep, and because it wasn't just because like at the beginning it was my thing, like this is what I created, this is what I want to do, but by the end of it I'd grown a family out of it, and to see
And we all raised that baby.
It was our kid, that was our baby, and like we all were so passionate about something, and it was cool to see it all pay off in the end.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
But then it was also fun, being on stage and okay. So if you look at my certificate from the costume award for Battle for Star City, you can see where I had been wiping my tears away.
Can you really?
And I had gotten makeup on my hands.
You do not have makeup on your certificate.
There's makeup on the certificate.
Oh my god, Sam, that's amazing.
That's so amazing.
There's makeup on. Yeah, there's makeup on the certificate. I almost started crying again when. So I was still. Once your name's called, you stay up on stage until all the awards are called.
There were so many awards.
And so a couple awards later, they get to production design, and one of my favorite professors, Heather Hornbeek, love her, worked on a film with her as she was my production designer, and I was the art director. And I'd had a class with her, and she's up there, and she's talking about production design, and I'm only half paying attention. I'm yeah, this is great.
We're still starstruck from winning
and then
costumes.
she's like, oh, and production design goes to Samantha Bruce for date debate, and I was just
she just froze. Was like, that's you, Sam. Go.
and then so there's that, and I was just don't cry again, don't cry again, don't cry again. But yeah, it was
honestly
Highbridge was.
It was awesome.
So then
it was amazing.
So then Highbridge happens. Now it's we're legit. We have an award. People now have seen bits of the entire first episode. The hype train's real, and then we get to the end of the semester. It's all filmed.
Lowbridge was the next week.
That's right. I forgot about Lowbridge. Lowbridge was the first showing of. It was the full rough cut.
Lowbridge, for people who don't know,
I was about to say, yeah.
It's
so
our
Highbridge is the film festival. Lowbridge is where they show all the submissions.
It's the ugly
who didn't get
stepsister,
in.
is what it is. It's all the films that people make films specifically for that, but it's the films that don't get in. So this was our
Highbridge.
Yeah, this is a special K of film.
And then our showing of DFP films is the Walmart brand.
Yeah. But the Lowbridge Festival, I say festival loosely, the Lowbridge showing was our first viewing of the entire episode, and which this really speaks to a little testament to us. We had it was the night of the Urban Ninja shoot, actually.
Yeah, because we saw the project.
We had to. So I went up to the guy that was doing the projects. I think it was Gross.
Yeah. Yeah, Gross was running
the IT guy.
Gross was IT. He wasn't the guy on it.
running the
I don't remember who was running it.
Oh,
but
I mean,
I went up to he helped him with
He was
it.
working for IT.
Okay.
So
But
he wasn't
whoever
in
it
charge
was,
of the
I went up to him and was like, hey, can you show ours first or early? We literally have to go and do a shoot right after we show it. He's like, yeah. So we're waiting. I'm like, okay, we're gonna be first or second. First two come through. There was
that went wrong.
5 or 6 films that went before ours, and we're all they're like, Nick, go talk to him. We have to go. And I was like, I know we have to go, guys. I have to go. I was we're running behind now. We're losing time, but we can be on set.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, it was really cool to me because during the other films, no disrespect, no one kind of really cares, honestly, about some of the films.
Yeah.
They're laughing and talking through it.
Whatever the
And
heck
then-
American Teenage Edgelord was great.
That was
Yeah,
that was a good one.
American
That was
Teenage
great.
That was a good
one.
Yes.
That one. Who
Shout
did
out
that
to-
one?
Who did that one?
That was
Frankie?
Daniel Moy.
Daniel
Daniel
Moy.
Moy.
Daniel Moy.
Daniel Moy.
But did he come up with it?
I think.
Either way.
Either
Either way, I
Well,
loved
I-
that.
Daniel
Wait,
Moy's the memorable one.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
The Joker.
so we're the 5th, and I see that because they have it on a separate computer, and I see him switching. Okay, guys, we're coming up. They're like, what? They switched the computer. I'm like, just wait. And
had Keegan's and ours.
yeah, they had it was the two from Highbridge that got recognized, and Keegan's went first. And I was like, oh man. Which I'd loved seeing. I'd seen bits and pieces of it before because we were
And
editing.
I'd only seen what was in Highbridge.
We'd been editing at the same time, so the night that we were editing the first episode, he was editing his film, so I'd seen bits and pieces, but it was cool to see it all put together. So it was right before ours, which worked because it was just like Highbridge happened, and then ours came up, and then the place got quiet. People were glued to the screen. They were really taken aback by the entire, because this was the first time anyone had ever seen the entire project. outside of like us, which I mean we're a little biased, but like people were. I mean, I kind of think I was like, it's really quiet in here. It's like, oh shit, that's a good thing. They're in it, and I had people come up to me like, dude, that was good. Like that was really. I was like, okay, I don't know if I can take offense to that because I don't know if people were expecting it to be that good, but like, it was cool because I really don't think people were expecting it to be that good.
Well, because I think people hear a bunch of nerds getting together trying to make a superhero web series thing
And
like
I
the
think the
CW,
idea was just
and
way
it got into
bigger
low
than
pitch.
like it.
Also, let's be honest. Student film isn't usually good.
That's really
Yeah.
not.
So
Another reason why hybrid should be an exposition of the best of the
like
best.
there's a few people that I've noticed constantly do good things.
Yeah.
I won't name them, but there's a few.
Yeah.
David
Catherine Haas.
and Catherine Hahn.
Catherine Haas, David
Also,
Davina,
our couple.
totally name drop twice.
Yeah,
David.
like anyway.
I
That's,
hope they
later.
are. They're cute.
Yes,
that's a
they
little-
are.
Okay.
He finally. Never mind. Later.
That does not pertain to
That's
anything.
that
Here
has nothing
is-
to do with this.
I love
Anyway.
you guys.
The T.
But yeah.
But yeah.
But it was.
Oh, and anything that not Matty Jacks.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Matty Jacks, yes, but
Yeah.
anything that what's her face edits. I can't remember her
Carrie?
name. Carrie Brown.
Carrie Brown.
Anything she edits
Yeah.
is gold.
She does a really good job editing.
So, not to
But-
name drop 3 names.
Well,
Yeah.
They
But-
started, then we kept going.
yeah, but no.
Anyway.
But then
Sorry.
like I said, then we watched it. There wasn't like an applause, or there was like a slight applause, but then like it was just kind of like I don't think anybody was really expecting it to be like the tier that we had kind of set for it. And because we've been promoting it through our Instagram and all that. I've been really trying to get the word out about it so people would see what we were doing, and then we just left. We had to go to shoot. Everyone was
Literally,
like,
we ran.
we got up.
booked
We had our costumes. I had a suitcase with me. Everyone's like, "Why do you have a suitcase?" I'm like, "Because I literally have to go shoot another episode in 10 minutes." They're like, "Really?" I'm like, "Guys, we're not even done filming yet."
it. No.
Like we
I
were
was like,
literally
oh, yeah,
in the
we're
middle.
gonna see episode 2
But it
and
was
stuff.
funny.
We're like, we're ain't done with it.
So we're
It's not filmed yet.
Give us
Yeah.
a second. We
we
gotta
had
shoot
to,
it.
we hadn't even got to that. So,
yeah.
but yeah. So we get shown. There's some clapping. Like it was like yeah, like that was cool. And then 8 of us got up and walked out the door.
Arrow, roll out.
And then some of the people that was around me, like, where are you guys going? I'm like, we have a film shoot. We have to go finish another episode. They're like, oh. And so we went to Urban Ninja, filmed that. We talked about that.
Urban Ninja.
And then,
Oh,
but
yeah, that's,
she
that's,
died.
that's the night that I died.
That's the
That's
night
the
she
night she
That's the
died.
night I died.
but I think that was the night that it solidified that like this was a legitimate thing. This is like everything they've been promoting. It's not just like another Blue Renegade. Like this is, it's real. It has like it's done properly, and
Oh, Blue Renegade was real.
it wasn't done. It was real garbage. It was hot garbage.
Again, not you, Anne. You did great.
You did
Thanks.
fantastic.
You and Emmy. Emmy was great too.
Amy did fan.
Hold
Okay,
on.
that's another.
Emmy
That's
has
another.
Never acted before then.
Okay, no, that's another story for another podcast about her.
For Silver Claw.
Her not with a Silver Claw, but her audition. That's
I
another
helped her
pod.
with that.
That was so good.
Mm.
But that's for another day because we're already pretty deep into this one. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, we're almost done. But so we end up going filming the rest of the series all throughout the rest of the semester. Yeah, it's pretty late. It's midnight. It's past minutes 12:15 right now, so we're a little
I
tired.
mean, how did we get our name?
Yeah, this is literally how we got our name.
Yeah.
It was the late night.
Yep.
But so there's only 2 day
Oh, I
shoots.
missed the office.
There's 2 day shoots in the entire
48 hours.
entire series. One of them is when me and Hannah are outside in downtown Lex walking. The other is the entirety of episode 2.
I know at least us 3 were there.
Well, not the entirety. Everything that's not shot in the Red Hood layer. Shit. Close. But everything that's shot in the layer was at night, actually. And then all the stuff that was outside, obviously, was at daytime. So we only had 2 shoots that were out.
Daytime.
But that was shot, at daytime. Even outdoors. But-
That was a nightmare.
Oh, God. But,
Oh, Lord in heaven.
Audio was
Episode
fun.
2.
but that was,
Me
at that
dying
point,
was fun.
that was a lot of fun. But we didn't have the access, because, I mean, I'm sure you can tell a visual difference. So, like, the story behind that is that by the time we got around to being able to film episode 2, we
Couldn't
we
film on the seat back then.
we couldn't film on the cameras that we had been using because we had run out of time.
Yeah.
So we had to use Anne's XA25, which is why I'm not gonna say quality because I like the quality of it. It's the look of it looks different.
Yeah.
Fun fact: I accidentally shot that whole thing in 60 frames per second,
You shot at 60 FPS. Holy shit!
which is why that looks different too.
Oh my god!
Is it playing back? In
Oh
60?
my
Wait,
god!
Can you just cut out? Can you not just cut frames?
I did cut frames.
You
But
she
it's-
did.
Oh, God bless your soul. That yeah. So the
I didn't
entirety of
realize
episode
that while I
2
was editing.
is
It's
shot
like,
on a.
Why is this not slowing down how I want it to? Looks at thing. This is in 60
Oh.
frames per second.
By the way, if we're just touching on episode 2,
Yeah.
shout out to the people who showed up when there were supposed to be more people and end up.
Oh yeah!
like-
Oh my God! Episode 2. Okay, so the same freaking thing happened with that happened for our press conference. Happened for our League of Assassins
Oh, yeah.
Ninjas.
And not only that, but we,
We
were
were-
supposed to have a
Yeah,
completely
shout out
different
to Paul
scene.
for dying.
Oh God!
My debut of acting wasn't great.
His debut of acting, he got
So-
impaled on a tree
So
branch.
we're
by me.
waiting. We're waiting around. We were promised like 15
Yeah.
people to show
It
up,
wasn't very good. but it was
and
fun.
we're like at this point we're past
15
the-
tumblers.
Yeah, like acrobatics. Like, we can really turn them into like some assassins, and do some really cool visuals and all that. And I'm sitting around and I'm excited because this is the first time I'm really like back like in the director's chair. I get to really look through and be a director. And we have 2 people. One of them is Paul. The other one is
Rachel
Ra-
Beck.
I mean, I was gonna be there.
Rachel
Rachel Beck.
Traxel now.
Oh yeah, she.
Rachel
Oh yeah,
Traxel.
married. Congrats again.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
so we
congrats
had
on
we had
getting
those 2, and I'm looking around. I'm like, this isn't gonna work.
And I'm like,
you
you thought.
well,
We'll make it work.
We're like, okay, we're gonna. I'm like, obviously, I'm like, okay, we gotta make it work. Thinking, I'm like, I'll just act. Just give me a mask. So the third villain in episode 2 that he fights is just me in a mask. Because I'm like, okay, if I cover myself up, like it can't be that obvious. Which I didn't think it. I thought I'm like, okay, someone's gonna catch on. My wife didn't even know it was me, and she knows.
Really?
She
she
we're
knows him
watching.
well.
She knows me real well, guys. Love you, honey.
I hope so.
But
Both of those.
so we're watching it, and I go, that's me, right? She goes, is it really? And I was like, yeah. And I hold up the mask. Then she's like, oh my God, that really is you. And I was like, well, that means we're gonna be all right. If my own wife doesn't recognize me on then I'm like, we're gonna be fine.
Also, anecdote: I went wandering through the woods, shirtless and covered in blood for that scene. It was great. I
Also,
almost
Also,
walked
we
up on a couple
forgot.
with children.
Yeah, we
I didn't,
also
but I almost
definitely never
Almost.
went back to clean up that blood.
No, we didn't. We just left it there. We just
no,
left.
yeah, no. So like, also,
Biodegradable. It's fine.
yeah, biodegradable. But also, there's a tree branch with like hella blood on it and a huge pool of blood. Straight up looks like somebody got murdered on the Asbury Trail.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then I mean, so episode 2, we were into
Sorry,
finals
Karen,
week,
so-
so we had no equipment, and so we just used what we had, and lighting was just stuff that Paul had. We used your lighting kits for that. Which
I'm working on getting more stuff too.
I mean, we're all working on getting more stuff, which is we have the ring light now,
I
which is
mean,
nice.
Yeah.
Staffing's what I do.
Yeah.
So,
So,
I'm
but
buying lights.
but we used what we had, and then came time for the release, the official release of the first episode. They're all back in their homes and all. They're all back here. I'm in Hawaii on my honeymoon. I'm like halfway through my honeymoon at that. I'm over halfway through my honeymoon. I'm like, okay, this is the day. This is the day. The day. It
Were
releases.
were you 4 days into your honeymoon?
5 days.
Okay.
I forgot it was 3, not 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Inside jokes.
Yeah.
But so we wake up, and it's like it's the day. This is time for the official release of the first episode on our channel. And I'm like a kid. I'm like, okay, come on, release. Come on. And if I watch it back through, I mean, of course I watched it. I've watched it 100 times, but I'm still gonna watch it through.
It's now been polished. And
It's very, very more polished. I would, yeah. It's great.
God bless.
It just sounds so much better. It looks better. And then I watch it, and I was like, cool. And the views kept going up. And I don't know. This was at the very end of my honeymoon.
Yeah,
I was coming because we came back on the 7th and 8th.
and it was building.
Because the build kept going up while I was in Seattle in Salt Lake. So first hour, I think the first hour we had 100 views, like that. It's like, okay, cool, that dope. I'm like, cool, we peaked. Like hour, boom, everyone that wanted to see it saw it, and it kept going, and it kept building, and then by the time I boarded my plane from Hawaii to Seattle, I think we had 500 views, which is within like 24 hours. Or if it was 48 hours, we had 500 views. I was like, holy crap. It was like 400 views. I think we're at 8. We're approaching 9. I know we're
Right now?
Yeah,
Really?
we're up, or I
Hold
think
on.
it's
We're
8
checking.
something.
Let's look real time.
We're getting
eight
we're
something.
getting fact checking right now as of
It's 8.
recording.
I know it's in the 800s, but I know we're close.
Oh, it's race.
We're
Oh yeah, fact
8:30
check as
something,
of
maybe?
the when we're recording this.
8.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah. I was like, that's smart. Yeah.
Battle for Star City.
We were at
episode
8:19.
819. Okay, so we're at 819
Double check.
now.
Episode
But
2
then-
is almost at 200.
Yeah,
Hey.
yeah. All of our
How about
episodes
There's
that?
are.
always roll off from the first.
200
Yeah.
people
But-
have watched me
but so-
die brutally.
But then by the time I boarded my plane in Seattle, we had 500. Then we landed in Seattle. I'm there for like 3 hours. We got 600. And then by the time I got on to Salt Lake, we had like 650 views within the first like 72 hours. And I was like, holy crap, this is absolutely insane. This is
it was
way-
awesome.
It was cool
It was
to see
awesome.
the numbers tally. I was like, oh my god, this is literally like, it wasn't hybrid cool, but like it was still like, it was cool to see all these people.
It's
sing.
lit because it's not just people at Hybrid
It's
watching
just like
it.
people all over the world.
Yeah.
Because it's obvious
Yeah,
that
people.
people
Well, I know people
watched
people,
it
Yeah.
bunch of people
and
from my
talk to
hometown.
people about it.
It's
Because
like
we don't even
people-
have that many followers on our
We
Instagram.
have
for Battle for Star City.
170.
Yeah, we have
So
170.
it's just 7 times more people than we have following our account that's like promoting this. So I know I had people from my hometown texting me. You had people from Cincy. Hannah had people from Louisville. I'm
I
sure.
had
I'm
friends
sure all of you
texting.
had people
My parents
texting.
watched it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it was like, it was crazy
Yeah.
to see all these like
I had
these
to
things
teach
coming
my
in.
grandma how to look it up on YouTube and stuff.
We watched it at your graduation party.
Yeah, we did watch it at my graduation party.
It was cool,
Which I
but,
cannot be at.
But then
I'm
like
sorry,
the
I
numbers
checked
kept
that
going
out.
up, and like obviously, I mean, you always get a drop
It's-
off in a series.
Isn't it like
So,
Actually,
like,
Thursday or
it
fun
something
fact:
like that?
between 3 and
It was
4,
like
we had
Mother's
almost
Day.
100%
Yeah.
retention rate,
It was
We're
exactly
almost at
nothing.
100 views right now.
Stay consistent.
which is better than most shows get. So
Yeah, so
I mean,
I mean,
not numbers.
we kept-
the numbers aren't as high.
numbers
but,
aren't as high, but I mean like
retention's not bad.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
I mean it's stay consistent. Like people, I feel like are enjoying it, and that's at the end of the day what I really wanted was to make something that like not only I could enjoy, people around me can enjoy, but like
And a
people that
concept
I've never
people can
even
enjoy.
met can enjoy. Like
At the end of the day, that's what we all want
as creators, that's what we want to do. Is
We
make
wanna
other
make stuff
content.
that people
that-
like and
Yeah.
can either they love to watch, hopefully at some point that they resonate with.
Yeah.
Like that's all I want. That's all
Mm-hmm.
he wants. It's all they want. It's what we want as creators. I love it. I love watching people enjoy
Mhm.
something. I also actually high key still don't know what to think because I still have people like mentioning it to me in passing, like that was a really cool project, and I'm like,
Well, it's cool because like it's like
it is cool, isn't it?
well, it's like
My
it's like
heart.
because it's opened up some doors for us like later down the road. Like I met a guy at Comic-Con this year. His name's Jared. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce this. I'm gonna have to talk to him how to pronounce his name. But Jared, yeah, I met him and we talked and all that, and he's a fan as well. I know you've talked to Joey. And all
Yeah,
that.
no,
we made a
because
lot of
the web series,
connections.
you failed to mention that when you talk to Jared, he's a part of this group of basically pro cosplayers in
Yeah.
Nashville.
And they're
cosplays for the Flash.
which is funny because before when I talked to him, we were still we were in production.
Yeah,
We hadn't really released anything. We had like teasers, but
Yeah.
and he was like, dude,
Yeah.
this is cool.
yeah, and it's fun.
And it's like we made a lot of contacts. We met a lot of really cool people through it.
And then I
it's-
saw through him because you told me about him, and I
Yeah.
looked at what are they?
National Justice League.
Justice League, yeah. And there was a guy on there who goes by Joey the Red Hood.
Joey Red
22.
Hood, yeah.
And by the way,
Yeah,
love
definitely.
him.
All these, I'll put like
And-
little links below.
Yeah, do
for
it.
us.
and
then, like,
they're
their
lit,
names and all
but his Red Hood cosplays, he cosplays Red Hood,
Yeah,
and they're amazing. And so
you got talking to him.
I
and-
one night, it was when after episode 1 had released, and I was out and I was just getting dinner someplace, and I saw a thing that he posted. And I said, you know what I'm gonna do? Screw it. I'm gonna DM Joey. I'm gonna ask him to watch the first episode of the web series, and I want him to critique my Red Hood and
Yeah.
see if he wants to give me any like critiques or anything like that. And the guy has over like 10,000 followers. I expected to either not hear from him at all, or like, really, I just expected not to hear from him at all.
Yeah.
Not even like 5 minutes later, I got a response from him, and he said, "Oh yeah," he was like, "This looks really cool." He was like, "I'll totally do that, and I'll pass it along." I said, "I really appreciate that." Didn't know when he'd watch it. He messages me, apparently watching it. He's messaging me while he's watching it, and I had the DMs.
He said it.
And
He's
I was
like,
just
guys,
I'm
what's
like,
going on?
guys,
I was
we
like-
got clout from Joey.
I was like, I knew who he was through Jared. I was like, okay, this is actually kind of a big deal. It was pretty cool. But like I said, we've made some connections and some friends along the way through this, and like it's really opened doors for all of us. So, like,
Which shout out to Angst Gang, Joey, the Red Hood, and Ronan. Angst Gang, let's go.
Jesus.
I still appreciate I unintentionally met Jared.
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
God. Okay, so Jared, I'm sure you'll end up. That was terrible. So there's a trash can off camera over here,
Just,
and she missed it by like 3 feet.
you
It
know
wasn't
what?
even close.
It's an empty
But-
water bottle.
Okay, so
Did you hit the
No,
She hit the
no,
cupboard.
she hit the
Oh, it was the dash.
keyboard.
Never
it's
mind.
fine. Anyway,
But
moving
so-
on.
I
Jared,
just
you
saw it
met
bounce.
her and didn't even realize it. It was
Yeah.
right. It was right after the last day. It was on Sunday. You had all your stickers on you. She's the one who gave
That
you all your
was Mabel.
stickers. But
Yeah.
that was. I'll put
Yeah.
the picture like
Have one.
right here because I actually have it on my phone.
Yeah.
Still. I don't know why, but like I have it there. But yeah, that was fun. Like I said, we met a lot of really cool people. We've I mean it's cool to see this thing have like kind of spawned off into like its like to what it's become, and it's opened the door for a lot of future
It
things.
was in a chrysalis. Now it is starting to turn into a butterfly.
Yeah, something like
I
that.
have no regrets about doing this project.
I always make sure I get stuff. in
Yeah.
I don't think anybody like has had any regrets.
Except for the lack
I
of sleep.
agreed to do
Lack of
this
sleep was-
project
There may
simply
have been
because I
regrets
wanted it
in
on
the
my
moment,
resume.
like hearing the birds for the third time.
the
Oh
birds.
yeah.
I have beef with birds now.
We'll settle that for another
I almost
night.
got attacked by a bird.
That's true.
Legitimately. Anyway,
But-
story for another
Story for another
time.
podcast, another time.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think from what I started, what started from an idea, and like basically just a piece of clay that it's like, all right, there it is. Let's
Try and turn this into
let's
something.
figure something out, and then like what it's
Is
molded
that how you
into.
mold clay? Just like gently.
That's how I mold.
massage it.
That's what I did with Blue Renegade. I guess that's why it never took off. I gotta learn how to mold clay better.
You gotta learn how to do like the whole like,
Yeah,
you know.
He's a film guy, not a pottery guy.
Christine did pottery. It makes it even worse.
She should have done Blue Renegade.
Yeah.
Probably would have done this.
True, I wouldn't have gone.
That's when we first started dating. Was during that whole process.
During Blue Renegade.
During
How-
Blue Renegade. She was
How
my
did she
biggest
stick
support.
around?
That's when I knew. That's when I knew she was she was like the
I mean,
one.
we all
She
ask ourselves
supported
that
Blue
all the
Renegade.
time.
Yeah, she.
That
Christine is
That
an
was when I
angel.
knew she was the one. She's
Christine's
like,
an
yeah,
angel.
this is really cool. And
We
it was like,
stand
no,
Christine.
It's not. I love you.
Was Blue Renegade really that bad, dude?
Yes.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Oh god.
As
He's gonna watch it now.
You'll have to be here whenever we do the viewing of it. It's
Yeah.
bad.
Okay.
It's bad.
Really?
It's so cringy. But yeah, but like from where we started to like where we ended, I like couldn't be more shocked for one, but like proud of like the product we've put out and the doors that we've opened for.
missed.
Oh man, I thought I had it.
I did too.
That was the
Nope.
last one. I thought you were gonna get it, bro.
No, I thought for sure. But
Shit.
and then like the things like we get to do now, like we get to make like these crazy videos now. Not for money, unfortunately. We're working on that. There's a lot we have to do for that, unfortunately.
That's also the goal. It's to make content that people enjoy, but also we kind of want to make a living
We
out
want
of
to make a
it.
living. We all
I
because
want
that's
this to be my full-time
that's-
job
okay, so
because
that's-
I love doing it.
so
And
that's-
she's damn good at it. So
Yeah, so that's
Full
also
send.
how the Insomniac crew got together. We were kind of all got together and we're like, we should make a YouTube channel. Like that'd be our thing. And we're like, yeah. I wish it was a better story. That's literally how it happened.
But yeah,
And
no, it's
Insomniac
basically
Productions was born.
And it was
Sam
kind of like
and
we were
I
half joking.
Sam and I were in the office, and it was like 3 a.m,
Uh-huh.
and we were just trying to keep each other awake because you were folding.
I was
origami.
folding paper.
This
for
is all
hybrid.
before Hybrid, just before
I
the
was
festival.
working on. I was either editing or working on. I was working on decorations for Hughes.
You were hot gluing
I was
straws
hot
Gluing
together.
straws together. Didn't
That
work out.
never got used.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they never got used?
No, because they didn't read. Like, the fan ones that I made that
Uh-huh.
worked over there. That's a completely
I almost
other
Another
side.
day, another
But-
podcast.
So, Sam and I are just talking, trying to keep ourselves awake at this point, because we're both real
Mhm.
tired. And somehow it comes up as like, you know what? We should start a production company. That way we can all stick together, we can keep doing stuff. It's like, yeah, that's a great idea. You know, we should ask Nick if he wants to do this, because he's like the third member of the core people that
Yeah.
made all this possible. It's like, yeah, that's a great idea. And I like passed out.
And as a joke, we sent a text to the group
Yeah,
message,
it's
like,
like-
name our production company.
We're not gonna say some of the names that got said because there was some.
There's some
Mainly, some of my names were really dumb.
They were.
Firstborn, because the
That
joke
was
was
funny.
I owe her my firstborn.
Wait, did I come up with that?
I have naming rights to his.
I thought I
first
came up with
child.
firstborn.
So, all jokes aside,
I thought you
if
just got it.
my wife and I,
No, I
whenever we
don't
do
want
have a
I just
child,
want to name the child.
whenever we do have a child, eventually in the future, if it's a girl, the middle name's actually going to be Sam. So she actually did get the naming
I have
rights
naming rights to their firstborn
to
child.
our, not our firstborn, just our girl. If we have a girl, eventually.
Now Sam's gonna do some weird shit to make sure it's a girl.
I wouldn't put it past her. She has too much power. But
She
yeah,
has
so
not
then like
even
we
at
all
full power.
because us three were seniors. We're like,
Not even
okay,
half
this.
power.
Wait for the solar eclipse.
Yeah.
Also an inside
But like
joke.
us three were seniors. We're like, okay, this was a lot of fun. We really don't all want to move because I'm from Northern Kentucky. She's from Lexington, and then she's from North Dakota. So she's out there. So it's like this was too much fun. We kind of all want to stick together and try some more
do
stuff.
things.
And so Sam kind of approached me with the idea, and I was like, yeah, it'd be kind of fun to make a production company and just make some videos. And I was like, I was like, oh, yeah, sure, we'll do it. And then I kind of thought, I was like, that could be a lot of fun, actually. I was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. And then we're like, well, we kind of done it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of in the middle of it.
We're kind of making
Yeah.
a video for it.
And then we have I don't want to show her, obviously I'm not going to turn the camera around. We have a board over here with all the projects we have we're working on for the future. It's like it's a real thing that we're really putting a lot of time into, and we're trying to put as much effort and time and love and effort into these future projects as we did into Green Arrow, because at like the end of the day, that was the one that started. Well, Blue Renegade's the one that started it all. As much as I hate to say, that's the one that started it.
Blue
'Cause
Renegades
it had two of the
crippled-
core members.
Crippled crawl.
It
It crawled like a cripple,
And crawled
so that
Green
way
Arrow could walk. That's the
Yes,
running joke.
and Battle for
anytime
Star
they-
Series could run.
And
Yeah.
it's been 2 years.
It's been 2 years. So that's
It's
whenever
80-40.
you see, because this will come out after the Try Not to Laugh challenge. That's the joke I do on and when I scream it's been 2 years. No, it's not. We're releasing all that stuff after the series. We have content to release, but that's where that joke comes from. Is that she played Mackenzie, my girlfriend in the series, and so it had been 2 years, and there was no resolve in her kidnapping. So that's where that joke comes from. But
2 years.
it's been 2
What
years.
happened?
We don't know. No one will ever know. I'm never writing another episode.
Yeah.
God willing.
Let him die.
God willing, let it
I
die.
think personally, the reason why I wanted to do this production company was because I wanted to be able to create things that I am passionate about.
Mhm.
I don't want to have to work on films like starting way down at the bottom. Well, I mean, I will.
You're still gonna have to.
Like,
but
I still will. But, like, the idea of getting to just throw myself into something that I'm passionate about, something that I will be able to challenge myself with, learning new skills and things like that, like, I think is worth it. And I believe that we are passionate enough and we work hard enough that we can make this a real thing. We can turn this into, like,
our job.
our full-time job, do it, and then slowly transition from doing short films to doing feature films and doing, a series that instead of each episode's 8 minutes, each episode's
20.
30, 40 minutes,
Right, that's a lot of writing.
I'm down.
Baby steps, but we'll get there. But yeah, I think that's another thing over like the last 6 months,
Yeah.
give or take, question mark, I'll say from the writing process, which was in December.
Yeah.
So
okay.
6 months. 6, 7, shoot, that's 8 months. 8 months. Wow, this really is almost like a child.
Yeah.
It's almost been 9 months.
It's time to birth the child.
Oh my god, it's almost been 9 months.
Oh my gosh.
It's been 9 months.
It's really been a child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 years and 9 months.
We're gonna birth.
That
this
really
child.
makes this kind of real now. Like, oh, this is my child. This is my baby.
It's your
It
baby.
really is. It's been almost 9 months. So we had a premature child that growed into this beautiful. Yo, it's 12:30. All right, cut me some slack. My English isn't good anyways.
Growth.
But no, like and over the last 9 or 8 months, I think we've really learned a lot from each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like where
We're doing.
each other. Like, we all we're not so good at, or I'm not so good at like behind the camera. Like, you pick up the slack, and then like editing, I'm still kind of figuring it out. And again, that's where you pick up the slack. Costuming, that's where you pick up. Fighting, I know how to take a bump, but I know how to
Make a bump.
make a bump or make it add the steps to before it, other than like
the
wrestling.
He takes the bumps.
And like to have us all, it's like all the puzzle. And you fix hella good ramen. You fix hella good ramen, and
I also have lighting equipment
you have lighting equipment,
and a camera now.
and you're also flexible, and you're like the utility bullpen guy. You're there when we need you in a tight squeeze. Like
We love Paul.
we
And
Paul
hopefully
Paul's great.
moving towards gaffing. I wasn't really able to do much of that
Yeah.
because
Well, 'cause
Side note: this was the first thing I had ever tried to light. I had no lighting experience before
this was all everything
Bang
we
up
did was
job.
experimental, which was a lot of fun. So
I mean, I'd never made a quiver or had to build a wall.
Yeah, for
that
those of
they
you that
could
may
go
not know,
through.
she made the quiver
I
and
made
the
a
wall
lot
that
of
he gets
the
full
jacket-
sent through.
I bought the stuff. I came up with the idea, but
But
she painted it and we put it together.
Yeah.
But like
she
the,
made
the
the
jacket,
quiver.
so the jacket for the Green Arrow suit. So we can go through this real quick, and then we'll call it a quits. So the jacket for the Green Arrow suit I bought off eBay. So it's a replica of the season
4, I think.
season 4 Arrow suit from CW.
help together with gaff tape.
No, that's the bracers.
That's the bracers.
The
never mind.
bracers that we
You
had
have to fix the
are
bracers.
soccer or
Right?
youth soccer
Oh,
shin
those
guards that we
Nightwing.
painted
That was
green.
Nightwing,
It was the
never
Nightwing suit. The pants that I wore was from our prop room at school, and so were the boots. And then she built the quiver, and the bow is my own personal bow. His Red Hood costume was actually the jacket was the jacket I had used for my own personal Red Hood cosplay I'd done at Lexington Comic Con 2 years ago.
And I
which-
added the hood.
And we
myself.
added the hood. We put the logo on the back, which one of the guys on my haul.
Also, in
He had a
case you're
3D printer.
wondering, command strips on a leather jacket work really well.
They actually really do.
Who knew?
But and then
Fun fact, the Velcro ones.
Hannah's costume she
Yes.
put together with stuff she had. Like everything was like crazy. It was like it all came
Yeah.
together really well.
Yeah, Red Hoods was really easy because it was the jacket and you slapped the hood and stuff on it.
It was,
And
it was all
then I
stuff we
just wore
had.
like
Even the
black
even
jeans,
the Robin
boots,
suit.
gloves,
So-
and
Yeah.
This is my
a
favorite. Okay,
tack vest.
this is my favorite Easter egg in the entire series, because like honestly, it's really the only Easter egg. No, there's a couple. I put a couple Dark Knight Easter eggs because I love that trilogy so much. But my favorite Easter egg in the entire series is whenever he plays Robin, that chest plate. You're gonna hate me. It's the exact same chest plate that was used in Blue Renegade, but it was just painted to look like a Robin. It's this.
I'm unclean.
So we have both worn.
It's still covered in blood in my
It's
face.
still covered in blood. We never washed it from
fine.
that scene, but it's.
A lot of things
If
still come
I'll
to
put
life.
There's a
I'll
lot
put
of
some
blood.
comparisons like right here in the middle. I'll put Blue Renegade on my side, and I'll keep Robin. We'll keep them
No,
segregated.
but for the picture,
But it's-
you have to do the most banged up, bloody shot of me.
so the
from
very
episode
first
2.
shot we see of
Yeah.
you, yeah.
So the full
But
body
it's
pants.
that's my favorite Easter egg in the entire thing because it's like this creation that.
You.
Let me back up. This
Bastard.
abomination that we created as sophomores in college. It was like, oh yeah, this is the pinnacle of filmmaking. and it's like, wow, that
No.
was really
The
bad.
pinnacle of
and it's like,
filmmaking.
and then like
That
to
was like-
recycle that.
You needed the project to complete the class to graduate.
That is
Yeah.
that was.
No, the
I
pinnacle of
think
filmmaking was us hauling the crash mat in through the roof of your car
Yeah.
to the warehouse.
This is the pinnacle of filmmaking. That was great. That was
Filmmaking
fun.
at its
Followed
pinnacle.
by Maddie and I camping out outside of checkout.
That was fun. That was an all night.
Hysterical.
That was the Waffle House night.
That was the waffle.
Whoa!
That's
But
a different story for another.
We have so
time.
many stories we could tell, but yeah, no, that's definitely my favorite Easter egg. Is I never think about it and like until the conversation.
And I didn't
like
even
this.
know.
He didn't.
Yeah.
That's why it's an Easter egg. You have to now people will know. They'll look for it. God, I'm gonna have to go make Blue Running it public again. It's on
Wow.
private, just so people can. No, they can just watch it. They
It's
can
on
see the screen.
unlisted because
What's
it's
on-
currently sitting in a private playlist that I have. That's like things I've been a part of, and I can get to it.
Dang it.
Yes, Ann.
All right. Well, me and Ann are the only two that have access to it, so don't try to find it
Um,
unless you have money. You want to
I
pay
mean,
me?
you'll see it when we do our.
Well, yeah. God, just wait like 2 weeks. We'll have a video
After we do that, you do realize you have to make it public.
out. Yeah, I know.
it's gonna be great.
Feel
But
free to
but
roast the heck out.
please
of it.
roast
Please
it. It's
do.
fun.
Please.
It's
Please
so much
do.
fun to like.
I
Even
do it
I
all the
roasted.
time.
I'm like, I'm looking at that. Okay. I'll do a quick spiel on it. So, at that point, I
Make it
had
expeditious.
the choppiest hairstyle. I had like Cheeto like fuzzy beard, a freaking pedophile stash, and acne. And I'm like, I look like a superhero, like most kids would when they're like 19. Like, yeah. And
Excuse
it's
you, we're trying
awful.
to film a podcast.
So
Please
we'll-
get murdered on a different street.
Thank
Her mom
you.
isn't red
God.
from real blood, it's fake blood, I swear.
Okay,
Swear
so
to
you
God.
made that joke. I'm honestly not too like. I wouldn't be too like. Rule that out.
I love your neighborhood.
Yeah, I do too.
Her mom is actually soaked red with fake blood.
It
Yeah,
really
it
is.
really
From
is.
episode 2. But my favorite scene in the entire Blue Renegade spiel is the comic book store.
God bless A Plus Comics.
I go in there all the time and they have no idea who I am. It's amazing.
Probably a good thing.
It's a great thing. I don't have to talk to them. I'm like, yeah, I know this place really well. I know I'm behind the counter. But so I called them and was like, hey, here's my idea. You know, can we come film in your store? They're like, oh yeah, that'd be cool. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I guess. So we film in there, and I go in there all the time now, and I buy comics because I like to read comics to get ideas for future projects. And I'm in there, I'm like, I can see the scene like play out in my head. I'm like, I'm behind with like cheesiest haircut, this half-ass run I do out from behind the counter. It looks awful.
You picked the one take that my voice cracked on that line.
Did I really?
You did.
Yeah.
It was so bad. Oh my god! Why did anybody let me show that? I was so proud of that. That's what's bad. But like, it's fun. It's fun to see it come full circle. And now we make fun of it for fun and for
Yeah.
exploitation and.
And one day
content.
we'll probably make fun of Battle for Star City. As
Back when we're holding our Oscars, our Emmys, and you're like, oh, remember that? You know how life works sometimes.
Or just after the next remake.
Or the next video we make, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like we have a lot of content lined up. I'm only gonna put should I name drop our big project that's coming
No.
up? Did I have the teaser?
You're not
Or
allowed
keep it
to.
in the dark?
Nope.
Which one?
The big
No.
project for like
The
2
one
years.
that he sent the whole designed intro for.
Yeah, the designed intro.
You're not allowed.
I don't know if I saw that before it disappeared in Snapchat.
I say keep it dark.
Keep it in the dark?
Yeah, you're not allowed to talk about
Not
it.
top.
As executive producer, I say
Wait, hang on. 2/3 share members. So I've got a no, a yes.
Hang on. This is what he's talking about. Grant.
Yeah, no,
Somehow.
hang on that.
Hang on. Okay, so I'm outruled 2-3, or 2-1.
Just thought we should
2/3.
clarify that before we
Yep.
vote.
Yeah. Okay. So
Oh,
we're not going to announce it, but we have a lot of really big things planned in the future. I'm excited for everyone to like see it. We'll talk about when we can start releasing that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's no, it's not.
No.
Anyway.
We have to get
We're
more
ways
fleshed out.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Expect a lot of smaller projects before.
yeah, a lot of smaller
Yeah, a lot
projects.
of
We have
fun
a
small projects.
we have a
Small projects.
We don't have any, like-
Small projects.
we don't have any like series planned out for a while. We have a bunch of
Just
like
some
like
shorts.
kind of cute videos that
And a lot
kind
of
of-
ideas that have come to me in fever dreams, basically.
And
There's gonna be
also,
some weird
there's
stuff.
At least 2 of us that are gonna be classes that hopefully some of that.
Yeah,
stuff
so we'll
will
have
be
we'll
on
be
Yeah.
trying to push content a lot. You'll see a lot of
Matt
videos,
Jackson,
and you'll hopefully learn more about like us as filmmakers as well as we go throughout this journey. And we're kind of happy to have you guys along the journey with us. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But yeah, that's. Anybody got any closing words for the?
I'm tired. Let's go home.
Man, fair enough. It's 12:46 in the true spirit of Insomniac Productions.
The night's still young.
I got like 4
By our
hours of
standards,
sleep.
By our
we're
standards,
just
we're
getting
just
started.
now waking up.
All jokes
I might be
aside.
going to a film festival tomorrow.
Oh, really? Where?
With Sarah.
I don't know yet. We'll see.
It's cool.
Later
cool.
conversations.
That's cool. But yeah, so that's a good start. 2 hours long.
We can cut it down.
I was gonna say
Nah.
either cut it or split it.
Nah, it's a podcast. I think people, especially if I like market it as the story of Battle for Star City.
Whatever. Anyway.
I mean, I think it'll be fun.
Hey,
We'll see.
It's
Conversation for later. Wrap it
But
up.
yeah, all right,
Go home.
guys. Yeah,
Hi.
You are home.
We
Go
love
home.
you.
If you're still listening,
If you're still here, thank you for
bless
listening.
you.
Yeah,
And
God bless
watching.
you.
God bless you. And thanks for tuning in to the first Insomniacs the Round Table. We will work on getting a round table, I promise. All right, catch you later, Insomniacs.
Bye.
Peace.
Yeah. I have to